everybody. I'm Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann and Mark Malone. Welcome to the NFL on ESPN. It is quite a homecoming for Dom Capers and 5 other former Saints as the Carolina Panthers try to earn an expansion record 6th win and incredibly stay in the thick of the wild card race. And Joe, it's a team led by the league's 6th ranked defense, a unit that dominated the Saints 20-3 a month ago.
And they did it by pressuring and harassing Jim Everett into 4 interceptions, Michael, which brings me to the key to tonight's game, the Saints offensive line. Now, they've made some adjustments that should help keep the pressure out of Everett's face. And if they're successful, it'll give him a chance to exploit Carolina's blitzes. If not, the Saints will join the 66 Oilers as the only team to be swept by an expansion club, Mark.
Thanks, Joe. And tonight's spotlight starts with a player that the Saints offense must control. A player that knows their tendencies as well as they do. Former teammate and Pro Bowl linebacker Sam Mills. I'll be back with video reports throughout the night to chart his impact. Mike?
All right, Mark. Jim Mora called Sam Mills the best player he ever coached. And at 4-7, Mora's feeling the heat here in New Orleans, even though he has won more games than all of his predecessors combined. The expansion Carolina Panthers win the toss, so Doug Bryan will kick off from the 30-yard line. Butler, Note, and Dwight Stone are deep to receive. Bryan, the former 49er, says the Saints have had their problems with place kickers this year. Note at the 10. And across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Take a look at the Carolina offense. Rookie quarterback Kerry took over as the starter in Week 4. He's gone 5-3 since, showing marked improvement along the way. Veteran Mark Carrier has been the workhorse in the passing game with 42 catches. He's averaged 50 during his career. And rookie Blake Brockermeyer has started every game at left tackle and amazingly not allowed a single sack since Week 1. Griffith and Christian will start as the split backs. And Collins to throw on first down, incomplete, throwing the slant pattern inside. For New Orleans on defense, Wayne Martin having another Pro Bowl year. 55 tackles, 9 sacks, which is 4th in the NFC. Richard Harvey wasn't even counted on to be a starter, but he leads the team with 81 tackles. That's a career high. And All-Pro Eric Allen is someone you don't throw at very often. 35 career interceptions, the 4th best ever on the active list. Griffith fumbles the football, picks it right back up, and then is buried by 3 Saints behind the line of scrimmage.
They're starting now to look a little bit like what that term they don't want to use, the E word, the expansion team. First pass by Kerry Collins a little short. Now the handoff just isn't properly handled. Ball's in there. You can't blame the quarterback for that one. Griffith's got to hang on to it. Does a nice job of picking it up, though, and managing to get control.
Griffith, a 3rd-year player out of Illinois, one of the few running backs who's been around this team all year. 3rd and 11. 4-man rush. Collins under pressure and buried from behind. Joe Johnson loose football. Here come the Saints. Vince Buck, he laterals. Carolina may have gotten it back. Gulliford was on the bottom of the pile.
It's Carolina ball. Welcome to Australian rules American football. Unbelievable.
Well, Vince Buck is not going to want to go to the sidelines and confront Jim Mora.
I'll tell you, you've got 2 head coaches that are irate. I mean, just follow the ball, folks. Let's start it with Carolina. Okay, Collins is back. He goes down. Ball's up. All right, there goes your guard. Ball's in the air. Now Buck has it. Let's go the other way. No, he doesn't. It looks like he tries to swing it back. Who's got the ball? Eric Gulliford. Eric Gulliford has come up with play after play, and you really have to count that as a hustle play, Mike. Here's a guy who just wasn't quitting, wasn't letting anybody run away. Winds up Johnny on the spot.
Well, the end result of this is a first down for Carolina because New Orleans had possession at one point.
Exactly where they started before.
So just pretend it never happened. Blair Thomas into the lineup for the first time, and Collins wants to go deep and well overthrown, intended for Willie Green. Jimmy Spencer on the coverage. And if you're going to throw it a corner, Spencer is the guy they go after, not Allen on the other side.
They feel like they get the best matchup here. Willie Green has been their downfield guy, does a nice job on the release. Jimmy Spencer really never looks back for the ball. Now he looks back a little bit later, but Collins just overthrew it.
Allen, the Pro Bowler, hasn't had the ball thrown at him very much. That's why he only has 1 interception this season. Go on the ground, and it's Blair Thomas getting his first carry. The young man out of Penn State, the former #1 draft choice of the Jets.
Mike, that's what Carolina is going to have to do. I think with Kerry Collins back there in his rookie year, they've managed to run the football fairly well. Blair Thomas has been one of the backs that they've used as a running back by committee. Various individuals, Anthony Johnson, Bob Christian, Howard Griffith, have all played. Derek Moore, injured, has not played. They really need to establish a run to take the pressure off of Collins.
3 wide receivers set on 3rd and 7. Saints show blitz, and they're coming. Everybody picked up beautifully by the front line, but Collins misses on the pass.
That's a nice job by Carolina's offensive line. That's always a big concern early in a game, is will the offensive line be able to pick up the blitzes and give the quarterback time? Whether he completes it or not isn't as important as if the offensive line can pick it up. Now the coaches will have confidence that they can throw the ball down the field.
Tyrone Hughes waiting at his own 25, the young man who owns nearly every punt and kickoff return record in Saints history, even though he's only been here 3 years. Barnhart, the former Saint, gets it out. Short and bounces out of bounds near the 35-yard line. We've got a timeout on the field. Panthers and Saints, 0-0 from New Orleans. The Saints have the ball for the first time tonight. They'll take possession at their own 35, 1st and 10. Lorenzo Neal, the blocking back for Mario Bates. And Everett to throw on 1st down. In the flat. Neal gets about 5. Gang tackle led by Carlton Bailey. Jim Everett on his way to a 7th 3,000-yard season of his career. That would move him past Dan Fouts for #7 all time. Quinn Early has been the go-to receiver, 55 catches, 714 yards, both ranked in the top 15 in the NFC. And William Rofe, in only his 3rd season, may be the best tackle in football. His peers voted the NFC Lineman of the Year in '94. 2nd and 5, New Orleans. Everett with the slant, incomplete. Good defense by McKyer. For Carolina's defense, Mike Fox has been a consistent run stopper. He leads the down lineman in tackles. Lamar Lathan, Carolina's highest paid player, and although he hasn't had the huge year he predicted, he does lead the team with 5 sacks. And Brett Maxey, who spent 9 years with the Saints, having a huge season for the Panthers, 5 interceptions, tied for the conference lead.
No call, no call.
Derek Brown, the setback. Blitz coming. Everett in the flat to Wesley Walls. He has the 1st down into Carolina territory. And Joe, already a difference between this game and the last one.
And this is very important because Jim Everett has got to feel comfortable in the pocket early in the game for him to keep his composure and his confidence. What the Carolina Panthers want to do is they want to isolate Sam Mills, hopefully on a back. Here what happens, Everett gets rid of the ball so quick that Mills couldn't quite get to him. In the first meeting they had, Mills was all over Everett early in the game, and it upset his rhythm.
1st down Saints at the Carolina 45-yard line. Neal and Bates in the eye. Mario Bates fumbled the football, never had it. Sam Mills with the recovery. It has been a sloppy start, and the Panthers get the break this time.
You know, the thing is, they're being sloppy in the most fundamental aspect of the game. Handoffs. We saw Carolina do it with Collins and Griffith. Now we see Bates and Everett. It's coming towards you. Ball's in and just slid on down. I mean, he still doesn't know he doesn't have it. I think he thought it was a play-action fake. I really do. You're going to see Bates. I think Bates thought it was a play-action fake. I'll guarantee you he didn't think he should have had the football.
Carolina with a big break at its own 45. Carrier the man in motion. And they'll go with Blair Thomas on the sweep. He gets a couple and no more. Wrapped up by Wayne Martin, who's having a sensational season. Sam Mills said the toughest thing about leaving New Orleans was leaving his coach, Jim Mora, because they had shared so much over the years, including respect. And look at what the Panthers have done as an expansion team. #1 in takeaways.
He said the second toughest thing was going to be able to find the other locker room because he didn't even know where it was in the stadium.
Now Anthony Johnson, number 23, checks in. Collins under pressure, stepped up and couldn't really get much on it. Intended for his tight end Walter Rasby, as Metzelar is unable to play tonight.
Kerry Collins, Mike, is fearless in the pocket. I mean, he just sits there and sits there. People coming in, arms all over. He's a big guy, 6'5", he's 245 pounds. So a defensive lineman or a linebacker getting one hand on him isn't going to bother him. It'll upset the throw a little bit, but it's not going to take him down.
Howard Griffith, by the way, went to the locker room. They took his right shoe off. We'll get a report on him as soon as we can. 3rd and 7. Don Beebe now comes in as an extra wide receiver as they go to 4 wide. Collins on the slant. Beebe incomplete. There's a flag down. It looked like New Orleans jumped on the play.
What Kerry Collins did is he used a hard count. 3rd down and 7. Defensive coaches try and remind their players, don't get caught, but they're in such a hurry to get there, they wind up getting caught.
Offsides on the defense, number 56. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
Ernest Dixon called for the penalty. It will still be 3rd down, 3rd and 2 now instead of 3rd and 7.
I think you get a chance to run the ball now. 3rd down and 2. I think this is a perfect situation to run it. I mean, they haven't completed the short passes. Take your best shot. Of course, the problem is you've got running back by committee, and Dom Capers hasn't been able to keep anybody healthy back there.
Right now, it's Anthony Johnson. Collins instead, pump fake, then he wants to go deep sideline. Free! What a catch! Did he bobble it? The official still talking. It's a catch. Great grab, great concentration by Green.
And an excellent job of defense by the New Orleans Saints. They knew exactly what to expect. Look, he has to reload. Now he lays it up with nice touch. Green with terrific concentration.
Boy, Eric Allen was right in his pocket.
You can't get any closer. Now, does he have control? That's the big key. He has it. And he does have control. You can have it pressed against your body, your face mask, or your head, anything you want.
1st down, Carolina. Play action to Thomas. Collins wants to go back the other way. Wide open, Rasby inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. Tackled by Brian Jones behind. He's filling in for Winfred Tubbs.
I love that play. Take advantage of what a defense does. The New Orleans Saints have always been a defense that chases the ball. They're going to pursue and they're going to go after it. So instead of running reverses because you have disciplined ends, run a little sweep play action, bring the end on the other side of the ball into a voided area.
Both wide receivers go to the far side. And they'll run Thomas again. Thomas drilled as he got to about the 7-yard line. Joe Johnson in on the tackle.
Kerry Collins inside the 20 has done a terrific job. Look at that. 5 touchdowns, no sacks, no interceptions. And to me, Mike, the most important statistic here besides the touchdowns is the fact that he hasn't taken any sacks. You get down in that red area, which is inside the 20, you definitely don't want to hurt your team's chances to score, whether it be by field goal or any other way, and sacks hurt you.
That statistic impressive for any quarterback, let alone a rookie.
The guy on the other side of the ball has had 4 sacks. Jim Everett down inside the red area. So that ought to tell you how well Kerry's done.
1st and goal, Carolina. Dom Capers trying to get to 500. No expansion team has ever finished with a winning record or made the playoffs. He's got a chance to do both.
But you see, they're not an expansion team. You talk to anybody in the organization, from the owner, Jerry Richardson, right on down, they're a veteran group that's been put together.
First and goal, headed tipped at the line of scrimmage. Sean Lumpkin, the closest man to it in the end zone.
Number 93, Wayne Martin, over yonder, just comes down inside and just collapses. And that's what you want to do. You want to get your hands up inside and make it tough for that quarterback to hit the middle of the field.
Second and goal. Draw play, Christian inside the 5 to maybe the 4. Ronaldo Turnbull in on the stop for New Orleans. This is not a big defensive unit.
No, it's not a big defensive unit, but you have to remember on the other side of the ball, Mike, Carolina doesn't have any running backs that are big. I mean, they've got guys that have been there 2-3 weeks. So the running attack is not going to be very complex. I think here, Kerry Collins has mobility. So why not in this situation run the fake in, try and get everybody to collapse, and then put him on the perimeter with maybe a back or a tight end and a wide receiver for him to dump. Give him a run-pass option.
Third and goal. Collins straight back, stands in the pocket, throws over the middle. Flag is down. There is a touchdown to Carrier, but we'll check the penalty.
That flag comes down. It'll one of two things. It'll be pass interference against Carolina for picking, probably.
Pass interference against the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
That's what happens. What happens is you usually use your tight end to pick down there to try and bring your wide receivers underneath. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened on this one.
Great play if it works.
There's the tight end. He's going to go out, block this guy. Carrier comes on in, and you wind up with a pick. You can't do it. You just can't build the block. See, he's blocking downfield. He's really not trying to get open. Watch number 89, Walter Rasmussen. You got to remember one thing. The defensive player is allowed to hold his ground. It's the offensive player's obligation to try and miss him. That's why they call that.
You have to disguise that just a little better.
A little better.
Third and goal now from the 13. Collins wants the quick slant. He's got it, but only to the 4-yard line. Again, complete to Carrier, but this will set up a field goal situation. Tyrone will again on the coverage.
Carolina continues to do things that are within the talent level of the people they have. They don't make the offensive line block long, so they give them 3- and 5-step drops as far as the quarterback goes. You're not making Kerry Collins work all over the field. You let him work one side with a quick slant or a quick out. Now you get some points and let your defense go play.
John Casey, the free agent from Seattle, is at 21 of 27 this year. Make it 22 of 28. Flags down on the play. The penalty on the field goal attempt was too many men on the field for New Orleans. It was declined. The field goal stands, so it's 3-0. Let's get back to Kerry Collins. He's drafted as the #1 guy. He's going to be the quarterback for an expansion team. That usually means somebody who has to carry that team. They've done a great job in not putting him in that position.
In many instances, Mike, we've seen guys like a Jim Plunkett who went to New England have to carry the ball club. With Kerry Collins, they didn't want to bring him in early. As a matter of fact, Kerry told me, he said, if I had to start the first week of the season, I wouldn't have been ready. It was great that Frank Reich had a chance to play. They put the defense around him. They give him an opportunity to work one side of the field. You put him in 3 and 5 drops, step drops,
right,
allowing him to get rid of the football early. So you don't really beat down his confidence. I think that is the most important thing for a young quarterback. Don't make him feel like this whole business is one that you're going to get killed in. Give him a little confidence, let him work, and then he'll continue to improve.
And I think your point well taken, that they don't ask him to do things in this offense to carry it. They let the defense carry it.
Exactly.
Casey to kick to Hughes and Ned. Ned, the up man, takes it on the run. and gets it out to the 37-yard line. Stopped by Bubba McDowell. We'll be back to New Orleans in just a moment. This entire crew has enjoyed the weekend here in New Orleans. Oysters being shucked and every other known kind of seafood engulfed by our crew this week. I had the other night for dinner a porterhouse steak that was smuggled in under darkness of night 4 months ago. The only one in town.
We get this at Art Donovan's house all the time. Art serves that all the time.
Anthony Newman, the injured Saints player, now being helped off the field. The former Los Angeles Ram. If you joined us late, it's been a wild first quarter, but it only stands 3-0 Carolina, as the teams have just tossed the ball back and forth to each other on the ground.
Carolina's been a lot more productive on offense than they did the first time, and actually the Saints were moving along fine till they fumbled the ball as well.
New Orleans' second opportunity from their own 37. Bates is the deep man in the eye. And Bates will get the carry. Not much. Greg Cragen in on the tackle. The former Denver nose tackle who had to be talked out of retirement to join this club, as the Carolina Panthers had a real plan on defense as to what they wanted and how to do it.
Well, they did. First of all, they went out and they got people that the coaching staff was familiar with. McKyer, Connor, Williams, Mills, Maxey were all in Dom Capers' systems before. And it makes it easier to be able to teach people when you have a group around that have been there.
Only a yard for Bates, so it's 2nd and 9. They go right back to him. And Mario Bates up to the 45-yard line where Sam Mills made the tackle. Bates still hoping for 1,000 yards, but he says, playing these guys, you don't get to work much on the running game. All you're working all week is on blitz pickups.
But, you know, part of controlling blitz pickups, Mike, is being able to run block. Jim Dombrowski, number 72, does a nice job on Gerald Williams, number 98. Gets a little help from William Wolf. That's Irv Smith, also the tight end.
On 3rd and 2, Derek Brown, the pass receiving specialist, back with Everett. Here comes the blitz. Everett has time and can't complete it to Small. Poole, who was covering him, fell down.
Let me show you what the Carolina Panthers want to do defensively. It's what you see the Steelers do. It's what you do with a lot of very active linebacker defenses. Watch this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. They're all going to rush. And what they're going to do is they're going to try and match up one-on-one and make the back, right there, make the back block the linebacker. That's exactly what they're looking for. That's where they feel like they have the mismatch. If a back has to block Sam Mills, it's a mismatch.
Wilmsmeyer to kick to Gulliford, who is 5th in the NFC this year, averaging more than 10 yards a punt return. Nice kick by Wilmsmeyer. Gulliford, fair catch at the 9. Punt of 46 yards and no return. First quarter, 3-0 Panthers. The Panthers with a 3-0 first quarter lead over the New Orleans Saints. We talked about the plan that the Panthers had as an expansion franchise. Mike McCormick, the president, on the right. Bill Polian, the general manager, ex of the Buffalo Bills, on the left. These are the guys that implemented the plan, Joe.
Well, they did. What they did is they went out and went into the expansion draft and got 7 players. Then they signed 6 unrestricted free agents. Then they got 5 waived and/or free agents. Then they took 4 players out of the college draft that have made up the nucleus of their starters. And you got to remember, you look at that starting defensive unit, everybody is over 6 years except Tyrone Poole, the starting corner.
Tremendous experience over there. This is Christian running over tacklers until Vince Buck hog-ties him at the 19-yard line. In the offseason, this team signed 17 unrestricted free agents. They didn't worry about money. They tossed it around trying to find players that they could use, and the process has been ongoing. They've signed guys all during the year.
Unfortunately, they've had to at the running back position, but Dom Capers made it very clear. People like Pete Metzelaars and other individuals, they wanted people who could play right now. They weren't looking down the road. They were looking at this year.
And they wanted good people, too. Christian, again, hammering his way across the 20. It will be a first down. Stood up at the 22. Richard Harvey, one of many in there, along with Sean Lumpkin. And one thing they didn't do that other expansion teams have done in the past, they did not go for the marquee names for the most part, the guys who had the huge salaries. They tried, again, they had a plan, and they were trying to fit the pieces into the puzzle.
Take a guy like Brett Maxey, okay, on the defensive side of the ball, had 2 knee operations. The Saints really weren't interested in him, and he winds up going there because of his familiarity with Dom Capers.
And all he is tied for first in the NFC, second in the NFL in interceptions. Collins with play action. That carrier wide open, instead goes downfield to Raspy, and Lumpkin just knocked it loose. Big hit by Sean Lumpkin. Lumpkin in college said, I never really got going until I made a big hit and got a headache. Well, he may have one now.
Kerry Collins actually has the tight end open. If he wants to, he can dump it off in the flat, but he decides to go up the field. Raspy trying to make a good play. Ouch. Collins trying to squeeze it into a very small seam.
Johnson and Christian, the split backs on 2nd and 10. Johnson on the screen. Nowhere to go. Excellent recognition. Vince Buck, the first man up there to mess up the timing, and then Harvey came over along with Wayne Martin.
Wayne Martin does a terrific job, and he's really the guy that upset them and dominated them in the first game. Watch number 93. He starts to come on the pass rush, recognizes the screen. Now he just continues to chase it down, and he takes a good angle as well. He's running to where the running back is going to go, not where he was. And that's one of the big problems defensive linemen make. They expect help, and they don't get it, and they wind up trailing a play.
3rd and long for Carolina. Collins to the sideline, overthrown, intended for Carrier. Jimmy Spencer right there on the coverage.
See, Carolina can't do that. They cannot get themselves 3rd down and 8s, 3rd down and 9s. They have to stay in what we call fairly convertible downs and distances. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. That's got to be the key for them on offense tonight.
Barnhart to punt to Tyrone Hughes, who made the Pro Bowl in '93 as a special teamer and has a couple of career punt returns for touchdowns. Nice high floater. Hughes from the 37 on the run. Only gets 3 yards and pays the price for it. It's an NFL special Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern as the New York Giants take on the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC East battle. But the evening begins a half hour earlier with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson on the NFL Tonight. Defensive battle so far with 3:06 to go first quarter. New Orleans with its best field position outside its own 40. Carolina offense talking over what will happen the next time they get the ball. Everett goes to the shotgun. Unloads in a hurry. Ernst Smith makes the catch. Shakes a tackle. Nice. Everett gets out to the 47. For the first time, let's check in with Mark Malone. Mark.
Thanks, Mike. Sam Mills in our spotlight tonight. 2 things the Saints wanted to do coming in: change their formations and plays and take care of the blitz. They have done neither against Mills. Early, this is the first drive. He calls out the play, makes the adjustment, incomplete pass, almost like he knew what he was doing. Then on the blitz, they don't take care of him. The hit on Jim Everett, and then later on the fumble recovery, again on the blitz, and he makes the play. Mike?
Well, Mark, he swears he doesn't know the plays any more than he knows other teams, but it's hard to believe after watching that. The pass to the tight end wall incomplete at the sideline. Back to you, Mark.
Thanks, Mike. Take a look at these numbers so far. These are the first 2 defensive series. Sam Mills so far has blitzed 3 times, putting pressure on Everett twice. He's had a quarterback hit and, of course, the big fumble recovery. So far, the New Orleans Saints have done little to contain or neutralize Sam Mills. Mike?
All right, thanks, Mark. In this situation, 3rd and 3 all year, the Saints have faced it 23 times. They've thrown 23 times trying to get it. Not one run.
How about 24?
Out of the shotgun, good guess. Here comes the blitz. Everett unloads, nobody home. Quinn Early went inside, and Darian Conner was putting the pressure on Jim Everett. Everett wanted to go to the shotgun this week. He liked the idea against this blitz.
I would like it too. I think it gives him a little bit more of an opportunity to see where the pressure's coming from. But there's Darian Conner up top, number 56, going to come in. Irv Smith tries to stay with him. You have a mismatch in speed against somebody big. Can't be done.
Wilmsmeyer to kick to Gulliford. Beautiful punt. Gulliford makes the fair catch at the 9. Great punt by Wilmsmeyer. 43 yards and a tremendous hang time.
You know, Mike, when I was returning punts for the first couple years in the league, I had a rule, and that is if you got to the 10-yard line and the ball was going over your head, let it go. That's the second time that Gully has taken a punt inside the 10. Maybe, I don't think the rules have changed. I don't think it's a good move by a punt returner to take a ball inside the 10-yard line.
Especially on AstroTurf.
Oh, yeah, because it's got a real good chance of going in. I mean, you know, you start your offense backed up again.
So Carolina has to start from the 9. Joe, I'm a little surprised that the Panthers have come out and thrown the ball as much as they have.
Well, they didn't do it well in the first meeting, and I think they want to establish it more, loosen the defense up a little bit.
Collins back to throw again. Under pressure, loose ball. Saints have it.
They still haven't blocked Wayne Martin. They didn't block him in the first meeting, and they're not doing a very good job of blocking him tonight.
Ronaldo Turnbull with the recovery, but Wayne Martin gets credit for forcing the fumble.
Matt Elliott, the right guard, number 52, sets up hard inside. And you see Wayne Martin. Now, he's doing a good job of keeping him outside, but he just reaches around and knocks the ball out of Collins' hands. Look at that. Just reaches in and knocks it away.
Wayne Martin having another brilliant year for this New Orleans Saints defense. Huge break. They'll start 1st and goal from the 4. Bates. Touchdown. Nice lead block by Lorenzo Neal. And Mario Bates cracks through for his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
They're really looking for Mario Bates to break out. I mean, he's got 650 yards this year, but he's only averaging 3.9 yards a carry. And his longest run is only 35 yards. So they really need him. Of course, they haven't had a running game here since 1989 anyway, but they really need him to break out and become a guy that they can count on.
Doug Bryan to try the point after. Originally a 3rd-round draft choice of the 49ers and then cut this year by San Francisco. He knocks it through, and New Orleans takes its first lead of the game, 7-3.
Down around the goal line, the game gets one up front. Number 72, Dombrowski. Right there, he's going to come in and block Mills, and you're just going to see a big old hole wind up with a TD at the end. Does a good job on Sam. Really, if you get into Sam, you got to remember, he's 5'9", 232. Dombrowski's 300 pounds. If he gets on him, nowhere for him to go.
Matt Elliott comes to the sideline, and he knew it was his responsibility to keep Wayne Martin off his quarterback, and he didn't get it done that time. Mario Bates, as a rookie, was really having a great season until one of his teammates, Lorenzo Neal, broke his jaw.
That's tough.
Thank you very much. It's supposed to be the other guy's breaking your jaw.
Supposed to happen.
Boy, Matt Elliott, you could light a cigar off of his forehead right now. He is really steamed But he's going to have a long night trying to hang on to Wayne Martin.
I don't think you can block Wayne Martin one-on-one. And it's tough because of the new defensive scheme that the Saints have used, using 4 down linemen. They try and isolate the center and the 2 guards.
Binote and Stone are deep for the kick. Binote from the 6. A little bit of a seam and gets out to the 26-yard line. The best pregame show in the NFL expands to 90 minutes beginning next Sunday at 11:30 a.m. sharp with Chris Berman and the gang on NFL Game Day. Then at 7, it's all the highlights of all the games on prime time. And at 8 Eastern, Sunday night NFL Classic, the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. Remember, that's a new start time, 11:30. In a couple of years, we'll be starting at dawn. Those guys will just be locked in the studio.
We mean those guys. Us guys, you're right.
Well, you're here tonight.
Hey, lots of football information we can give you.
Bob Christian, the single setback. He'll get the carry. Christian ramped up as he reached about the 28-yard line.
There is Sam Mills, the perennial student. They're studying the photos, see what kind of offensive set the Niners or the Saints were in, and just see which way they're going. See, they're looking at the pictures there and said, all right, this is what it looks like, and this is what we want you to do.
What a perfect leader for an expansion team.
I think he's a great leader for any team. Yeah.
Second and 7. Collins straight back to throw, and it batted down in his face. Turnbull and Martin were right there. Rufus Porter was too.
If I'm Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator, what I have seen right now is as long as Kerry Collins is sitting in that pocket, they're going to come after him, jump up in the air. I think they've got to move him a little bit. I think you've got to get him out of the pocket. Watch number 59, Rufus Porter. Does an excellent job of rushing. He's done this all his career. When he was in Seattle, did a terrific job for Rusty Tillman when he was out there. The defensive coordinator doing an excellent job here.
Anthony Johnson in at running back, 3rd and 7. Collins short set, the slant complete. That'll be a first down out to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. And Green makes the catch, a gain of 14. Again, they go to Spencer's side.
You know where you win pass routes, Mike? Everybody thinks you win it down the field. You don't. You beat it at the line of scrimmage. Willie Green does a nice job of getting inside position on Jimmy Spencer. Then he goes down for the ball. Does a good job of protecting it once he gets into traffic. That's where you win on pass routes. You win at the line of scrimmage. You don't win 15 yards, 10 yards down the field.
Collins on first down. That side again. This time, as Green fell down, Spencer came over the top and nearly had a pick.
Well, they went to him once on 3rd. Now they're coming back. A little deeper route. Jimmy Spence just breaks on it. And Willie Green, and I've noticed, Willie Green, the running backs, they're not real comfortable on this surface with the footing. I mean, they play on grass down in Carolina, but the fact of the matter is this is tough turf. This will jump up and bite you.
Collins changing the play. Another short set, another quick slant. Spencer with another good play as he throws Mark Carrier out of bounds, and Carrier doesn't like it a lot.
You know, Mike, this is turning into a good old-fashioned rivalry. I think that a few years down the road, you're going to see these two teams really hate one another in a neat way.
New Orleans already has that feeling after losing the first one. That's the end of the first quarter. Our score: the New Orleans Saints 7, the Carolina Panthers 3. The only touchdown of the game, Mario Bates.
McDonald's presents the breakaway of the day.
Brett Favre, second quarter, Packers against the Buccaneers at Lambeau Field. To Robert Brooks, 54 yards, they hook up twice. Brooks does go all the way into the stands. A love affair between team and fans, and a big win for the Pack in first place in the Norris. Mike?
All right, Boomer, and he has made a huge difference, hasn't he?
One of these days, they're not going to let him out.
And they're not going to give him back. Flag is down. Collins goes to Gulliver. They'll whistle the play dead.
That's going to be on Derek Graham, the right guard, or right tackle, number 74, for leaning backwards.
Before the snap, there was a false start on the offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
It's Mark Dennis who's in there for Derek Graham.
Right.
Dennis, the most experienced offensive lineman on the roster. 52 career starts before tonight.
Also has one catch, a ball that was batted in the air. Kerry Cummins said, if he's going to catch him, he better get first downs with him.
The Panthers really dominating time of possession, better than 2-1, but so far they only have a field goal to show for it and trail 7-3. Saints have rushed for 12 hookers and 2 turnovers each in the first period. Third and 9. Tom steps up under pressure, sidearms it incomplete.
And that's the best thing that could have happened to that pass, because when you start to look left and then try and throw back to the middle of the field against the nickel defense, you're guaranteed at least 4 Saint defenders are going to be around the ball. So he got lucky, and that one went high and away.
The phrase late over the middle is usually followed by the phrase intercepted by such and such. Fair catch signal made at the 11. Jim Mora coached Sam Mills for 12 years in the USFL, and here in New Orleans, here is how he regards his former linebacker.
The best player I've ever coached in my entire career is Sam Mills, because he exemplifies all of the traits and characteristics that as a coach you look for in a player. You know, ability obviously is important, but the leadership, the work ethic, the preparation, all these things. He's the best, and I've said this many, many times. He's the best player I've ever coached.
Very difficult for both of those gentlemen to part ways after the end of last season. This is Mario Bates carrying him to about the 13-yard line. Players like him don't come along very often, Joe. When you're a guy like Jim Mora and you have the opportunity to coach him for 10 years, it's got to be a very difficult party.
And it was difficult for Sam to leave here. He didn't feel like the organization made an effort to try and get the deal done. He really wanted to stay a Saint. It just didn't work out for him. But, of course, I think they've let a lot of people get away around here. I don't think they've done a good job of keeping the players they need to build a nucleus to take this thing to the next level.
Bates, they fake a reverse. But Mario Bates showing you the speed he has across the 20 to about the 24, and upset that he needed to get more out of it.
Sam Mills doing an awful lot of inside blitzing. This time he comes inside. He gets caught up in Dombrowski and just doesn't see. This is where his size is a disadvantage. He gets caught up in Dombrowski and he can't quite find the ball, can't get away from the big guy.
First and 10, New Orleans. 2 tight ends, both shift to the near side. Bates again. And this is something the New Orleans Saints wanted to do. Jim Mora has always been a coach who wants to run the football. They want to control the clock, and they know Bates can get his yards.
Well, he can, but you know the other problem is they've been behind in so many games. You have to abandon the running game. I mean, every coach says the philosophy is we want to run the ball, we want to run the ball. You get down 14, 17 points after a quarter and a half, you can't say we're going to run it. You have to do whatever you can to get back in the game.
And you can see next to last in the league in the running game. Now they'll go with Ray Zellers, the rookie out of Notre Dame. The big fullback at 221 powers his way for a couple. And it has been a rare time this year when Mario Bates has had to come out for a breather and give Zellers a chance to run the football. Only his 22nd carry all year. They'll bring out the chains. And they have the first down.
Haven't had many opportunities for guessing this year, have we? So,
No.
Everybody sort of made it by a good number.
I think I'm 2 for 2, though.
I know you.
Jim Mora under some pressure this year, and I'll tell you something. If they want to get rid of Jim Mora, I think by the time the press conference is over, when he gets back to his house, he'll have 3 job offers.
And Carl Smith is the offensive coordinator, been for a long time, doing a nice job moving the ball around him.
Everett for Quinn early, couldn't hold it. Would have been a circus catch. He beat Tim McKyer. Had to adjust and turn over the outside shoulder.
This is a throw that Jim Everett just turns and throws the ball. He doesn't really get a chance to set it up the way he wants. He goes a little outside. Actually, an excellent throw, but he just doesn't quite put it exactly where he wants. Quinn almost has a chance to make a play if he had arms behind him.
Came in needing 1 catch to go to 300 in his career. He would have loved to have had that one been the one. Another blitz. They pick it up. Early, nice grab this time at the sideline, and they're saying he's out of bounds. Right in front of the Carolina bench.
One thing that was very critical tonight for Jim Everett to be able to feel comfortable was to pick up the blitzes. They do that. This one he throws out just a little too far. The ball bounces off the turf.
Whoa.
The ball hits the ground. Yeah, the ball's going to hit the ground right here. Watch. See, the ball goes down. His hand's not underneath it. That's the toe of that's the tip of the ball on the ground. Good call by the official.
Well, that's tough. Everett 3 out of 9, 27 yards. Derek Brown checks in on 3rd and 10, and now Everett's going to use a timeout. 12-11 to go, first half of play. Saints leading the Panthers 7-3. Third and 10 for the Saints, leading 7-3 from their own 34-yard line. 3 wide receivers set for Jim Everett. He'll go to the shotgun. Movement up front, and they'll blow the play dead. Looked like Andy McCollum got an early start, 67.
There was a neutral zone infraction by the defense causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty against the defense. 3rd down.
And that's why.
Remember, if the defensive lineman has to come across the line, watch Carolina. There they go. Now he's across. He caused the offensive lineman to move. That means the penalty goes against the defense. If he made a movement on his side of the ball, like Bruce Smith does, for example, or Neil Smith, both of them do it, then it doesn't count against him.
3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10. Same formation, 4-man rush. Everett knocked away at the last moment, and Brett Maxey got a hand on it. And you don't think he loved that here in the Dome against New Orleans? Maxey with 5 interceptions this year, and he says, I'm not done either.
No, I don't think he is. I think with this kind of pressure defense, he's going to make some more. Does a good job of keeping an eye on Jim Everett. Looking at the quarterback, seeing it, and making the play.
Wilmsmeyer, returnable kick to Gulliford. Spins off 1 tackle, gets back to the 30-yard line. An 8-yard return after a punt of 38. Brian Jones made the tackle. Brent Maxey made the stand and forced the punt. Saints lead at 7-3 in the second quarter. Eric Allen has not seen a lot of action at his cornerback spot tonight, and over the year that has been the case as they have thrown the ball far more at Jimmy Spencer, nearly twice as much. There's a good reason for that. Eric Allen has 35 career interceptions. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, and until last year, Jimmy Spencer was a nickelback. So if you had a choice, who would you throw at?
I would definitely go the way everybody's gone. And Jimmy has been to the task. I mean, he's really done a good job.
Absolutely nothing doing for Blair Thomas.
You know, the thing is, too, is they use Eric Allen in a unique way. They don't always put him on the team's best receiver. Of course, Carolina doesn't really have that established receiver, so he gets to play pretty much either side of the field. They use him, say, to the short side, put him on a secondary receiver, and allow the other side to roll to the corner, whether it be Jimmy Spencer or Tyrone Hughes or whoever's going to play on that other side. Tyrone Leggett, whichever one's there.
Tyrone Leggett right now is in for Jimmy Spencer at that left corner. The pass complete up to the 39-yard line. And it's incomplete. And the beef from Willie Green, who said he caught the ball.
He says he caught it. Doug Toole, the side judge, is sort of looking from behind him. Now, he has a very good view of what he sees, and there's the ball come out. That's a nice job by the official, and it's a good job of the officials working together as a team.
So often, the guy who would normally make the call is screen, he needs the help. Collins sets in the pocket, throws, picked off. Jimmy Spencer came back off the bench and gets his second interception of the season.
That was just a really bad throw. First of all, it was a bad decision to throw it into that area. And he just never, ever takes his eyes off of where he wants to throw. This is just a case of the young guy getting locked up. Watch his eyes and his head. He's now looking out to the right. He's still looking out to the right. And he throws it out to the right. And that ball is badly overthrown to Don Beebe. And Jimmy Spencer goes up and makes the play.
Bates and Zellers, the running backs. And Everett to throw on first down. Complete to Irv Smith. Smith down to the 32-yard line. Nice job using his hands to make the catch.
Irv Smith, through the early part of the year, wasn't getting the ball. So he got a little vocal in the papers prior to the Indy game and said, look, I need to catch the ball a little bit. Wound up with 9 catches, now has 28 for the year, and is a lot more actively a part of this offense.
And Wesley Walls, the other tight end, has 40, which is a career high. The numbers on Smith, he has responded to being used more. Bates on the toss. Darian Connor, nice job of playing off the block and making the tackle. Another former Saint. Played most of his career, however, in Atlanta.
Led the Saints in sacks last year. Moved on over as an unrestricted free agent from New Orleans. 10.5 sacks he had last year.
They have had some people who can rush the pass.
Trust me, I know.
Met the ball face to face.
All personal friends. Close personal friends.
2nd and 11. Well, Sam Mills may have been trying to get back in a New Orleans uniform. That could be as close as he'll ever get.
I'll tell you, it's interesting. I asked Sam if he knew what the Saints were going to do on offense.
Offsides on the defense, number 51, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And he said, you know, I don't really know what they're going to do because I never practiced against our offense. But the one thing he could anticipate was snap count. You may not know where they're going to run or whether they're going to run or pass, but you can listen to a quarterback's rhythm when you spend time with them. That time, Jim crossed him up.
Got a very nice round of applause when he was introduced with the Carolina defense, too, tonight. And Everett steps out. Flags are down. Jeff Ulenake not ready to make the snap, and Jim Everett was already heading left.
Well,
so they give the 5 yards right back.
Those 2 plays never happened. We're right back at 2nd
Before
and
the
10.
snap, false start on the quarterback, number 17. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
One of the classic patterns that a quarterback falls into right after a long count, you come back with a quicker count, except it's always important to let the center know that it's a little quicker than the one before.
Back to 2nd and 11. Clock running, 9:17 to go here in the first half. Everett to the sideline, complete to Haynes at the 22. McKyer had the cover, but Haynes was open.
You got to give Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit. In New Orleans Saints, Jim Mora, putting Jim Everett back in the shotgun on 1st and 2nd down. On that particular play, he looks so comfortable. He's not the least bit concerned about the blitz up front. Look at the job the guys do. Here comes Sam up the middle. They're just rushing 5, but Jim's back there nice and comfortable. Look at how relaxed. Good delivery. Steps into it, makes an excellent throw.
First down, Saints. Bates with another carry, and Bates steamrolled by Lamar Lathan. What a sight for a running back. You haven't even gotten a handoff, and the guy is waiting to pulverize.
You know what happens? You go back to the huddle. The right guard and the right tackle are looking at one another and saying, wasn't he yours? No, he's not mine. You're sure he's not yours? Hard inside. Wesley Walls, number 85, the tight end, is supposed to make the block. Didn't take the proper step. And boom.
And Bates had to pay the price. 2nd and 16. Lathan, formerly of the Oilers. Blitz. Everett stands in with time. Quinn Early. Touchdown.
I'll guarantee you, Mike, if Jim Everett tries to make that play on 2nd down under the center, he never gets the throw off. They do a wonderful job up front on the offensive line.
And he was so confident last night, Joe. He said, I'm going to be in the shotgun. We're going to get him.
Look at the way they'll pick. Watch this front wall. You'll see Everett back here be able to make that throw. But look at the time he gets. Look at the job by that front wall. Great opportunity to step in and make a throw. You give Jim Everett a chance to step into a throw. He throws as well as anybody in the game. And
a strike to Quinn Early for his 7th touchdown catch of the year. That ties a career high. Or, excuse me, makes a career high. Doug Bryant for the point after. And it's 14-3, Saints over the Panthers. Jim Everett with a bullet from 27 yards out, his 19th touchdown pass of the year. $7:59 to go in the half, and the Saints have taken a 14-3 lead. Quinn Early with a touchdown catch. A man who's an artist and wants to own a gallery when his football playing days are over. Binote and Stone deep. Binote, number 14. Has a seam across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Tackled there by Shane Pawakoa.
you just can't make throws like Jim Everett made unless you get protection, and the protection has got to be in the middle. Look at the job these guys do up front. Watch this. You're going to see Mills come. You're going to see the guard step around. You're going to see they're just going to create a wall there for Jim Everett. In the first game, they made the backs pick up these blitzes. Now the guards and the center are doing all the blocking up front, allowing Jim to just step in and fire the ball.
And there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him to put the pressure on. Carolina takes over at its own 34. Collins under pressure, scrambling out of the pocket. Hit and dropped at about the 38-yard line. Robert Goff and Wayne Martin chased him down.
Carolina trying to be more productive in the passing game. But, you know, if you throw quick slants all through the first quarter and midway through the second quarter, the defense is just going to jump it. I mean, you've got to try and hit a deep end. You've got to try and hit the tight end over the middle. You've got to move the ball down the field a little more.
Blair Thomas stuffed as he got to back to about the 40. Signed a couple of weeks ago when Derek Moore was hurt. Thomas had one good year with the Jets, 728 yards rushing, but never lived up to that potential as a first-round draft choice. And there's Derek Moore, hurt the knee. Should be back next week, is their target right now.
They have 4 running backs in training camp. None of them are on the roster now. Bob Christian, the only one left that was there from somewhat in the beginning.
Anthony Johnson checks in now on 3rd and 4. Collins with a short set, floats it, caught by Green, and Green is gone. Two defenders collided. It is a 60-yard touchdown play. Hughes and Allen ran into each other. And Allen is down in an obvious pain.
That is the perfect throw by Kerry Collins, and just not a very good job by Eric Allen. I mean, if you've got secondary help coming, you've got to try and slow him down at the line of scrimmage. And he just took a shot from Tyrone Hughes. Remember we talked about where do you win pass routes, Mike?
At the line.
Watch this. Willie Green does a good job of freezing Eric Allen. Now, just that little hesitation allows him to get by him and winds up getting that foot drag.
Eric Allen hesitated. He saw Tyrone Hughes coming.
He thinks he's going to make the play.
Exactly. And instead, he threw a leg into Eric Allen.
That's what happens. If you ease up on a field at all, you become very vulnerable. That's like they talk about hits and all. See how he just eases up? Now, if he's running hard, he doesn't get his feet knocked out from underneath him. He winds up with a collision, but he's protected.
Boy, and that right leg hooked in the turf, too. Watch.
See how the leg just goes a little. Now he gets both of them in. The right one, when it comes down, tight. This AstroTurf, when I walked around on it and I watched the players run around, in particular the Carolina players, it was just grabbing.
Some are worse than others, but any AstroTurf is a danger to knees and ankles.
The domes are tough because there's no weathering of it. They stay really tight.
Allen, fortunately, able to get up and come off under his own power. The prototype corner. Said he was comfortable with his decision to come here because he liked the organization and wanted to make an impact.
He was actually offered more money to go to San Francisco.
And also courted by Dallas.
Right. Said he couldn't go to those places, had visions of playing against them in an NFC Championship game. Couldn't imagine all the hate that he built up for him when he was in Philadelphia. Couldn't imagine wearing a Dallas or San Francisco uniform.
He said, how could I go back to Philadelphia wearing a Dallas uniform? I couldn't do it. Carolina has a timeout. It's 14-9 Saints, 6:27 to go in the half. Back in a moment. Working on the left ankle of Eric Allen. And hopefully he'll be back in the ballgame. Dom Capers' team has cut the lead to 14-9, and he has made the decision to go for two. This will be another part of expansion history, the first two-point conversion try in Panther history. The NFL average, 44%. Collins under pressure from behind, throws over the middle, it's good. Walter Raspy, the tight end.
I'll tell you, when the Carolina Panthers get down close, they just feel like they can score at will. I mean, if they're inside the 5, they work the tight ends over. I mean, it's something that the New Orleans Saints is doing that is allowing them to do it. He gets isolated on the linebacker, nobody picks him up. I mean, that's all there is to it. They just don't know who to cover down there. The linebackers run off. Sean Lumpkin lets him go inside, and there he is at the back of the end zone. 2 points.
Let's go to Mark Malone. Mark?
Thanks, Mike. I know Joe said something that I thought was very intriguing. Sam Mills, they figured out what to do with him if you're an offensive lineman for the Saints. They have now come down inside with their guards in their center, and they will not allow any penetration. They're no longer sliding, allowing backs to pick them up. These are the last 3 blitzes in the last series, and there is absolutely nothing that they can do to get pressure on Jim Everett. Again, here comes Mills. Nothing. Just solid inside. Also, Everett in the shotgun is helping him out a great deal. Here are the updated numbers on Sam Mills so far. Remember all the damage he did in the first series? Well, now 9 blitzes, only 3 tackles. He's still got 2 quarterback pressures and the 1 hit, but in the last few series, he's been a non-factor. Mike?
Mark, it's a game of adjustment, and certainly the New Orleans Saints have made a couple of beauties since the first game. Hughes and Ned deep to receive, and it will be Tyrone Hughes from the 4. Tripped up, got out to the 24-yard line. Prime Monday, tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern. Mike Tirico and company preview the battle between the Raiders and the Chargers. We'll have all the latest news from around the league and go backstage with Charger linebacker Junior Seau. All that and much, much more tomorrow night on Prime Monday. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Mark Malone with you. 14-11, Saints over the Panthers.
Total yards, the Panthers still a little bit of a commanding lead. Saints closing on.
Everett to throw on first down into the front to Walls. Wesley Walls picks up 5, maybe 6 out to the 30-yard line.
And 6 to the 30.
I always felt like a 2 tight end offensive set was difficult for a defense because you now have to decide who you declare as the true tight end, and that has to do with run support. I think it's a good job by New Orleans coming out with the 2 tight ends and letting them try and figure, okay, Carolina, who do you want to be the tight end? Is it the right one or the left one? I think that just puts a little hesitation in the run support.
Everett goes to the shotgun on 2nd and 4. Plenty of time. Over the middle, and Irv Smith makes the catch out at the 42. There's a penalty marker down back at the 20-yard line. And this will come back.
That's usually an indication of hands to the face.
Illegal hands to the face on the offense, number 77. It's a 10-yard, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
William Roaf, the brilliant left tackle.
Big and brilliant.
Yeah, and not real happy about the call either. The report on Eric Allen is a sprained ankle. His return is questionable. Yes, he was an All-Pro last year. A dominant player. Very bright young man.
No, he does not have a neck. His head just sort of sits right in between his shoulder pads like that.
I'm glad you said that.
What a big guy. Whew.
Willie will be coming to your room, not mine. Derek Brown checks in with Everett in the backfield. 3-man rush, then a late 4th. Torrance Small gets it out to the 28.
See what the shotgun has done for Everett? Even if Carolina wants to bring a delayed blitz, the guy's got to run 8 yards to get to him, and it just doesn't matter. Now what they've done, Carolina, sorry, look, we can't get Sam Mills in. We're wasting him, rushing him. Let's drop him back in the middle of the field. He's just reading Jim's eyes. Now Jim's going to play a little game with him. Slides out a little bit and catches Small in the middle. I love it when defenders want to read my eyes. They mean you could play games with them.
3rd and 5 for New Orleans. Carolina showing blitz. They only come with 4. Everett with time. Quinn early. Gets to the sticks and out of bounds. Rod Smith took him out.
Carolina's going to have to change their approach. Sam Mills, again, coming up the middle. Jim Dombrowski, number 72, just gets a body on him. Bounces him off, and then gives Jim Everett the opportunity to step. Now, he threw that one a little sideways, but let me tell you something. When a guy's open, when they're blitzing and guys are open, you don't need to have the same balance you do when you have to fire the ball down the field.
Mario Bates, now it's an end around to Early. Got a great block up front. Quinn Early cuts it outside to the 46. Nearly went all the way on that one. The rookie Tyrone Poole was over there to make the tackle.
Andy McCullum, number 67, comes around and does a good job, just like a lead guard on the sweep. Jim Everett was talking about him the other day, saying, you know, I really like him. He's an aggressive type of a guy. Watch him. He comes into your picture, number 67. Just rides Lamar Latham out, creates that crease so Early can turn it up inside.
It's funny how football players are rated. He says, I like him. He'll go bust somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, I like guys.
Zellers checks in as the up man in the eye. And he'll get the carry. Darian Connor is right there. It's a 1st down, New Orleans. Zellers really hasn't had much action this season. Highly touted rookie out of Notre Dame.
Boy, didn't he make some great runs last year in college?
Boy, he did.
Just running over people. And I think he's gonna help give the Saints finally some sound running game. And they haven't had it, like I said, since '89. He's the beginning.
Everett with good protection again. Airs one out. Bumped off the ball at the last minute was Haynes.
Now, you know, it's interesting.
How's that not interference?
What's interesting is they threw the flag early, okay? There's a flag down early, but the question is, what counts? Is it the first interference?
Any of them.
Or the later one? I mean, it looked to me like he was interfered with twice.
Well, this is just illegal contact. This would be a 50-yard penalty on the interference.
It looks like there are two
Illegal contact against the defense. Number 38. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Tyrone Poole, the rookie corner. Well, one doesn't cancel out the other.
I wouldn't think so, but the guy ran out of flags, so he couldn't throw it. He's down here. What he's going to do is he's going to get bumped here, and then later on he's going to get bumped. All right, there's the illegal contact at the 40. Now watch it again. There it is once again at the 10-yard line. That's Brett Maxey at the 10. To me, it should. They ought to give the officials 2 flags. That's all I can figure.
Well, all he has to do is speak up.
Well, he could throw his hat, or throw a little beanbag, or throw the whistle, or throw something out there. I mean, you know, the fact that you've already committed 1 foul, does that mean that you can't commit another?
No, it doesn't.
I wouldn't think so.
Otherwise, you'd get some huge freebies in this game. It is the first down on the illegal contact. Bates back to the ground. Nice stiff arm by Mario Bates and picks up about 5. Tim McKyer took him out of bounds.
On the 17th, Mr. 40-yard line. Gain of about 6.
Clock running, 2:26 and counting here in the first half. Spot the ball at the Carolina 40-yard line in front of a less than full house here at the Dome. And it's being charitable.
They get vocal when Sam Mills makes a play, though. I mean, he's the only guy they're cheering for.
Now the officials talking it over as they stop the clock with 2:18.
The Saints and Carolina each have 2 timeouts left.
They reset the play clock at 25, and now the game clock running again. Second and 4 for Jim Everett and the Saints. Bates on the delay. Mario Bates with a first down to the 35. Sam Mills made the tackle. We've reached 2 minutes in New Orleans. It's the Saints by 3. The Saints by 3 and driving. Coming up at halftime, the fastest 3 minutes in television. Chris Berman with all the highlights. Steve Young is back. Congratulations to Dan Marino for the touchdown record and updates on the NHL and NBA.
Yep. I want to send my congratulations also to Dan Marino. What a warrior. I mean, if there's one man that has been responsible for the success of a franchise over the last 10 years, it has certainly been Dan Marino for the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if he's going to be strong enough to hold that ship together, though, after what I saw today.
I like Johnny Unitas' line. Why did it take you so long? Ray Zellers is the single setback on 1st and 10. Here come the Panthers. All of them. Everett swarmed under back at the 43. The man who got him was Carlton Bailey.
I like what the Panthers did here. They made an adjustment. They realized they couldn't get pressure on Everett up the middle, so they said, okay, we'll bring it from the outside. Watch the pressure come outside. Now they get the push up here, but the outside pressure funnels them back in. Here come the outside rushers. They push the blockers back into the middle, so Jim has no place to step up. That's an excellent adjustment by Coach Capers.
2nd and 19 back at the 43. Everett back to the gun. Throws deep sideline, intercepted by Maxey. Brett Maxey just sat back there and waited for Michael Haynes and got his 6th interception of the season. Number 1 in the NFC.
You can't throw the fade down the field or try and split a two-deep coverage down the field. It's got to be thrown 15 yards like we saw Kerry Collins throw it. Jim just hangs this one up way too long. It's a two-deep zone. Now, he had to get that up 2 steps earlier. If this thing goes down the field 40 yards, that isn't even a tough play. I mean, that's just an easy gimme play for the safety.
Maxey looked like Willie Mays with a basket catch in center field.
Just hanging out, waiting for it to come down.
Everett against Carolina this year, 5 interceptions in 6 quarters. And Maxey has 3 of them. So Carolina takes over with 1:25 to go. Christian goes up the middle as they'll play it safe. And why not? Down by only 3.
Well, if I was the Saints, I'd use my timeouts here. You know, you got to figure Carolina wants to be satisfied to go in down by 3. So they're going to run the ball. They're not going to do anything stupid at this end.
Well, you have 2, so you let this play go and then use them. Would you do that?
Absolutely. No, I'd use the one. I'd use this one now. And then I'd use it again real quick, and it'll run 45 seconds after 3rd down.
So now New Orleans has 1 left. Go back to week 8 where Jim Everett was 27 of 48, had the 4 picks tonight, and only 9 of 17, 112. He's thrown the ball really well, but has that 1 mistake.
The result of his picks in that first game came from the pressure up front. This interception was just his and his alone. He can blame no one for it. He just threw the ball late against a 2-deep zone, and if you throw 10 of them, unless they drop them, you'll have 10 interceptions.
Before that one, he'd hit 6 in a row and marched the Saints down the field. But a costly turnover as New Orleans was trying to build on its lead.
Sam Mills getting a rest. He and Darian Connor talking it over a little bit. 2 guys that put a lot of heat on Everett.
Blair Thomas comes in as the tailback. Collins wants to throw. Now rushes out of the pocket. Slides down at the 12. And gets up very upset.
I love his spirit. I love his spirit. I mean, somebody came in and hit him. He thought it was a little bit late, and he's going to let him know.
And the Saints stopped the clock with their last timeout at 1:09. If you joined us late tonight, here's the scoring summary. Casey got the Panthers off to a 3-0 lead with a 23-yard field goal. That was in the first quarter. Then Mario Bates from 4 yards out. The Saints took the lead at 7-3. Then Quinn Early with a bullet from Everett from 27 yards out. 14-3 New Orleans. But Carolina came right back, and Green scored on a 60-yard catch. They went for 2 and made it to cut the lead to 3. And that's where we stand with 1:09 to go. And Eric Allen, good news for Saints fans, he's back on the field in his familiar right corner spot.
I'll tell you what, if I was in a situation with Joe Pendry, the coordinator, or Coach Capers, if I want to take a shot on 3rd down now, I'd put Willie Green out on Eric Allen, and I'd let him run. Let's see how good his ankle is. Let's see how good it is.
Instead, it's Anthony Johnson on the draw. Johnson fighting for yards, may have a 1st down. That's a big play. They won't have to kick the ball away. They can just run out the clock. Nice effort by Anthony Johnson.
Carolina calls a timeout now. They'll have 1 left with 58 seconds to go. Now, if I didn't have a rookie quarterback, I would say that you work to get to about the 25-yard line, set up for a field goal. You're down by 3. You've not thrown the ball well down the field. When he tried to go deep down the field, he threw an interception. I think what you do with Kerry Collins here is you run the clock out. And it's Coach Don Bro on the left of him talking to him with the headset on, the white hair. I feel responsible for some of Bro's hair because he was with me with the Redskins, and I drove him crazy.
Speaking of Collins' numbers, 7 out of 19, 121 yards, a touchdown and an interception, but 60 of the 121 came on the busted play.
And the interception he threw was an ill-advised throw.
So let's see, after Carolina uses its 2nd of 3 timeouts, what strategy they come up with.
I think you keep this a defensive ball game.
Okay. Jimmy Spencer, who goes out to cover Green on this side. Collins looks that way, throws to Green. Spencer is right there for a short gain, 9, maybe 10. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Well, they continue to throw the same routes that he's thrown all night. Little quick slants.
Now they go for the stop, and Spencer closed on it and nearly picked it. He saw that coming, didn't he?
Well, he did, and you know why he could do it is Tyrone Hughes, number 30 or 33, came over from behind him and had an opportunity to back him up. He's got nothing to lose. I mean, that time Kerry Collins threw right into coverage. Look at the right of your screen. See number 33 just hanging out in the back? If this ball is thrown where it should be, down a little bit lower, it's 6 the other way. Look at that. Lee Spencer breaks on the outside to make the play.
And that's 2 that Jimmy Spencer's gotten a hand on tonight. Comes the blitz. Look out. Collins hits it as he throws. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Saints, Ernest Dixon, his 2nd interception of the season. And that was all because of the pass rush from the blind side.
Well, you know, I mean, I blame the coaches for that. I don't blame Kerry Collins. I blame a coaching decision for putting the offense in that situation. They bring the kitchen sink at him from the left side, his blind side. I mean, he's got no chance. Anthony Johnson tries to pick it up. Watch this. There he is, tries to get around. I mean, they have got no chance. None whatsoever. Tyrone Leggett, number 43, comes around the corner, closes on him. And it was going to happen, Mike. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind what happened was going to happen.
The other choice is simply to run out in the clock and go into the locker room down by only 3.
What's wrong with feeling good about that?
Instead, the Saints have a big break. Take over to 28. Everett pumps, has it knocked up in the air and nearly intercepted at the 23. The dive by Bubba McDowell, who couldn't get there.
Now keep in mind, okay, the Saints do not have any timeouts. So what you're looking to do if you're Jim Everett and the Saints, figure that they want to cover the perimeter and try and keep you from getting one out of bounds so you take some shots in the end zone. They'll give you the completion inside. What you have to do is rush up, ground the ball, kick the field goal, go in with a 17-11 lead at halftime. That would be the game plan for the Saints.
From here, it would be a 44-yard field goal well within Brian's range. Everett trying to get it closer. Sideline incomplete. Excellent coverage by Rod Smith.
I always felt it was easier to work against the prevent inside the numbers as opposed to the perimeters outside the numbers because they're going to double people out there. This is just going to be a great catch. That's all it is. If he gets it, which he doesn't, Rod Smith does a nice job of closing on him. Rod Smith, of course, comes out of New England, one of the higher draft choices of the Panthers.
Their first in the expansion draft, a kid who never lived up to his potential. Had such great press clippings coming out of college. 3rd and 10. Everett for the end zone. That could be offensive interference as Early pushed off against Smith, who had beautiful position. And now they'll have to go for the 44-yarder.
Quinn Early going down the field. Rod Smith, see how he peeks back? He peeked back to see when Everett let it go, and then he peeked back to find the ball. Boy, he did a nice job of locating the ball on that particular play and getting position in front of Quinn Early, not allowing him to go after it.
Those are Brian's season's numbers with both San Francisco and New Orleans. His longest season is 47. This will be officially 45. Nailed it. So the Saints turn the interception into 3 points. And when you're fighting to get to 6-6, you don't need to give the other guys a gift.
No, you know, the Carolina Panthers, I mean, as young as they are in certain areas, even though they're a veteran ball club on the defensive side, you still can't make mistakes on offense and keep putting the defense in bad holes. You know, Kerry Collins, again, I don't blame him. I mean, that'll go down as an interception against him, but I totally place the responsibility on that 3 points to the coaching staff for allowing him to throw the ball with no timeouts left and 90 yards to go, or even 70 yards to go to get in field position.
It's an NFL special Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern as the New York Giants take on the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC East battle. But the evening begins a half hour earlier with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson on the NFL Tonight. Don Capers, the defensive coordinator at the Steelers, brings the same philosophy here to Carolina, and his work for it with 5 victories. The high boot kick going to take the bounce and then be covered at 22 by Butler by Note. That nearly resulted in another turnover.
Bet he kneels down this time.
Bet he does.
Bet he better.
It's 17-11 Saints over the Panthers. Only 5 seconds to go in the half. Because mathematically, the Saints aren't out of this. A win tonight would bring them to 5-7. The way things are going in the league, anything close to 500 might do it.
We finish our season, our broadcast season, with the New England Patriots at the Indianapolis Colts just before Christmas. That one could be really interesting as well.
Collins will take a knee, and that will end the first half with the score. The Saints 17, the Panthers 11. Now let's join Chris Berman for the halftime report.
All right, Michael, thank you very large. The first half finally over as the Saints lead it by 6. We're here to speed it up for you a little bit on November 26, 1995, a day, week 13, where wacky things happen. But this isn't wacky, a day of history in the making. And in week 13, it was number 13. We needed 1 touchdown pass to break the all-time marker for targeting problem. Dolphins fell behind Jim Harbaugh and the Colts 24-0. That was Aaron Bailey with a touchdown. Finally, the record. Marino to Byers. More on that later. But even though Marino hugged Mark Clayton, who had more touchdown catches from than anyone else, it was the Colts over the Dolphins 36-28. The Pats and the Bills. Second quarter, Jim Kelly finds the man who's been his best target since Andre Reed's been hurt, Billy Brooks. 10 of the last 14 Bills touchdowns are his, and the Bills lead it by 12. But 21 points in the fourth by the Patriots. Bledsoe to Coates a couple of times. Martin, 100-yard day. My favorite, Martin. Over 1,000 yards. Pats 35, Bills 25. Jets and Seahawks. Seahawks still going to win 4 in a row. But a 100-yard day for an unsung New York Jet, Adrian Morrell, including a touchdown. They're ahead. Rick Meyer, he was wallowing in the mire. On this day, he had been scintillating last 3 weeks, but overthrows Joey Galloway, had a tough day at quarterback. Then as Hurts and the Seahawks fall to the Jets 16-10. Broncos and the Oilers. Unlike Art Modell, Bud Adams, even though his franchise moving, still goes to the game. He wants to see his rookie running back, Rodney Thomas. I'll tell you, I don't get no respect. But look at Rodney go. He could go all the way. Oh, he's a rookie. Give him the touchdown, even though he's down right there. A wild game, 42-33. The Bronx lose to the Oilers. Bengals and Jaguars. Steve Berline starting for Jacksonville at home. Here he looks for Jimmy Smith. 31-yard touchdown. We're tied at 7. The Jags lead with under a half minute to go by 3. Jeff Blake to Carl Slim Pickens. A touchdown, a late hit, a flag, a fight. A Bengals win 17-13. Steelers and Browns. Last time for this game, Everett, Cleveland. Vinny Testaverde started. First pass of the game picked off by Willie Williams. Neil O'Donnell to rookie Mark Bruner. Pittsburgh out in front early. But the Browns have tied it at 17 and also O'Donnell to Cordell Stewart sets up a field goal. Steelers beat the Browns 20-17. Storied franchises against each other, Bears and Giants. Eric Kramer. Want to see the catch of the day? Jeff Graham. 1 hand, 2 feet, 6 points. Tie game late. The Butler did it. Kevin Butler, 37 yards out. Bears stop a 3-game losing streak, win 27-24. The Eagles and the Skins. Gus Frerotte riding the pine. Heath Schuler started. But it was Ricky Waters. 1,000-yard season for him. 124 yards on the day and a pair of touchdowns. Wasn't pretty, but the Eagles up to 8-4. They beat the Skins 14-7. Oh, birds of a different feather for sure. What a wild game in the desert. Overtime, 37-all Falcons and Cards. Dan Igor Straczynski. No symphony here. Fumble. Next play. Greg Davis missed at the end of regulation. Good. 3 straight home overtime games by the Cards. This one they win 40-37. The Bay of Pigs, we up at the Baywatch because the Pack and Bucks put on a great show. Edgar Allan Poe Bennett, the leaping grab from Brett Favre. Favre, a couple of TD patches to Robert Brooks. Look at this beautiful pass, spinning, dumping it in, 35-13. The Pack own first place in the North. Rams and Niners, Chris Miller, picked off by Eric Davis. 5 turnovers this time of the Rams against the Niners, and he can go all the way. 41-13, the Niners crushed the Rams for the second time this year. More on Steve Young's return when we return, but a right and a left and a right to the left, and the goalpost is down.
This halftime report is presented by Acura, who invites you to test drive the exciting new TL Series.
As promised, when we come back, more on the return of Steve Young and more on the record from Dan Marino. A pair of big-name quarterbacks in the spotlight. For at halftime, the Saints lead by 6.
Saints with a 17-11 halftime lead as we get ready to start the third quarter. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. Well, look at the takeaway.
That's the big thing. And look at the points off of the takeaways. All 17 of the Saints' points come off of takeaways.
And then the Saints with an obvious advantage starting at their own 45 over the 25 of the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers, remember, had a huge advantage in time of possession, but that's really turned around in the second quarter. Hughes at the 11. Cuts it outside. Hughes. Caught from behind at the 7-yard line. Brilliant return, only Tyrone Poole's saving tackle prevented the score, but it's a return of 83.
He just doesn't have a lot of room to work with. He just makes the most of every little seam that he gets. He's going to be running right into your living room. Does a nice job of setting it up. Breaks away from the wedge. Now he follows his blockers. Everybody just stays up. None of his guys are on the ground. They're all out in front for him. Now it's a straight line. Cuts a little right, a little left. Look out. Tyrone Poole. That's why you want one of your fastest men on the kickoff cover team.
And that's against the number 3 cover unit in the NFL. Bates stacked up at the line of scrimmage, maybe behind the line of scrimmage.
There's Tyrone Hughes. What a terrific return. Look at those return yards.
We saw him in the preseason of his rookie year return a punt for a touchdown, and we said, this kid has made the team as a return man.
Brad Seeley, Carolina special teams coach, trying to figure out what happened. Well, you just went up against the best.
They'd only been giving up 17.5 yards a return.
Has 2 return punts for touchdowns in 93 season. He scored 7 TDs on returns so far in his career.
Second and goal. Everett pump fake goes to Smith. He was well covered by Poole. Wanted him all the way, and the rookie just wouldn't let the big guy get outside and free.
Jim Everett is not the type of a quarterback, in my opinion, who functions well on the move or outside the pocket. Jimmy is the kind of guy who has to step into his throws. You've seen it when he has to move his feet around. It's very difficult for him to make plays. When he gets down inside the 20 and gets close. Yeah, he's got 9 touchdowns, but he's been sacked 4 times, and it's not his strength to move him.
He had hit 6 in a row. Now he's missed his last 5. Third and goal from the 7. They'll go to the shotgun. Chased out of the pocket, and Everett goes down at the 21-yard line. The sack to Lamar Lathan.
That's going to be his 5th sack down inside the red area. I mean, it's one thing to scramble and try and make a play, but he just gets sacked right in between the hashes. Richard Cooper, number 71, is going to be the man who gets beat. There comes Lathan around the corner. Now, Cooper, see, offensive line, in my opinion, you can't harp at the offensive line.
No, that was a good job.
That was Jim Everett for holding the ball too long. That sack should go to the quarterback, not to the O-line.
Bryant, who has already hit from 45, will try one from 39. Perfect. Saints squander an 83-yard kickoff return and only have a field goal to show for it. Saints now leading by 9 here early in the third quarter in the Dome in New Orleans. And set the kickoff again is Doug Bryan. Binote and Stone. That's Binote, number 33, waiting at the 5. High short kick. Binote at the 11. Trying to get outside. Nowhere to go. Great coverage down at the 21. Let's go to Mark Malone.
Thanks, Mike. We want to take a final look at our spotlight player, Sam Mills, who had a great effect early in this football game, much like a month ago against the Saints. He blitzed, put pressure on Everett, was a problem. Then St. Louis makes the adjustment, D's it up inside. Mills becomes a guy who occupies bodies, but now that puts the pressure on the outside guys to make the sack. Bailey with the big hit. We'll come back with Sam Mills' numbers and a look at our next spotlight player here in the second half. Mike?
Okay, Mark, you know Sam Mills wanted to do so well tonight coming back to New Orleans. Christian and Thomas, the running back behind Collins. Thomas. Nice hole for a moment, but stuffed by Sean Lumpkin, and there's a marker now. Sean Lumpkin closed that hole in a hurry.
Had a lot of people at the line of scrimmage.
Offsides on the defense, number 59. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And at least one across the line of scrimmage. Back to Mark.
Thanks, Mike. Here is Sam Mills' first half numbers. 12 blitzes he came on, 4 tackles, one of those are solos, quarterback pressures 2, a fumble recovery. Now, because of the pressure having to come to the outside, we're going to go to a guy that we introduced you to last year. There he is, William Roaf, the left tackle of the Saints. 300 pounds of beauty, ballet-like and bullish, all in one body. Mike?
Oh, he'll love that, Mark. His mom's going to write you a nice letter for that one. Collins, he loves this side and throws high this time. For Carrier, nice coverage by Jimmy Spencer.
Mike, I have, in watching the Carolina Panthers through the whole first half and now a couple plays in the second half, they have not tried to throw the ball into the middle of the football field but once on 3rd and long. I think what they have to do is Kerry Collins is going to have to take a chance and go back a little bit deeper and try and work a little bit deeper routes. They're going to start jumping the short ones, putting 9 people, 8 and 9 people at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get nowhere with this offense.
Collins with a pump fake. Green beautifully covered by Spencer. In fact, before that play, I was going to suggest, since they've been throwing nothing but outs and slants on Spencer's, that maybe a fake and go would be a good play, but he was thinking the same thing.
Right, and you know, his throwing motion is a little bit awkward. You know, they call it, quote-unquote, the hitch. I don't anymore. It's just an unusual delivery. The pump fake, and now he gets it back, and it sort of winds up back inside a little. The more traditional way would be to load it straight back and release it straight back. He brings it just inside a little bit, but it doesn't seem to hurt his throwing timing, which is important.
3rd and 5, the quick slant again. Green can't hang on to this one. And a flag down at the end of the play on Spencer. And Spencer will plead his case.
Yeah, he'll lose it.
And it will be a hold. Not pass interference, but still a first down.
Holding on the defense, number 37. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
This is just some hand fighting. Remember, at 5 yards, he can bump him. Well, I'd have to say bumping is not exactly grabbing and stretching the neck of the jersey out.
No, he nearly undressed him in the first couple of yards. So a break for Carolina. They have it out at the 32. Panthers down by 9. Collins, the quick out to Green, couldn't hold this one.
I'll go back to Kerry Collins' delivery. That was one of the problems that they had, or people said he would have coming into this game. It's got a little unusual nature to it. He brings it back, and we stop it right there. You can see how it goes back inside instead of going back straight that way and coming this way. It causes a little bit of an unusual delivery. As a matter of fact, I think it's a bigger problem for defensive backs to figure out what to break on than it would be for his own receivers.
Johnson has room to run, upended at the 40. And back to Collins. They have timed his delivery. He gets the ball out quickly enough so the delivery, it can't be a problem,
I mean,
right?
I liken it in the game of golf to watching Chichi Rodriguez or Arnold Palmer or somebody else. Who cares what it looks like as long as the result is what you want and it's there in the right timing? And that's exactly what Kerry Collins is doing. He's getting it there in the proper timing and a natural delivery for him.
Although tonight he's not thrown the ball well, only 8 out of 25. Facing a 3rd and 2. Tries to roll away from the pressure and trying to run for it. Really took a blast as he got near the sticks. Brian Jones made the tackle.
You know, and they talked about Kerry Collins coming out of the college draft. The one thing they didn't question was his toughness. And he showed it right there. He just puts his head down. I don't think he has any concept on what a slide is. He's just going to duck it down and try and go for it. He just put his head down to try and make a play and comes up just a little bit short.
Well, Brian Jones really drilled him. And there is Bill Pauline, who did such a brilliant job in Buffalo, assembling the talent that took them to 4 Super Bowls. And he likened Collins to Jim Kelly, that linebacker mentality. And certainly Collins with the size of a linebacker at 6'5", 240. Tyrone Hughes, who had the big kickoff return, awaits Barnhart's punt back at the 20. Beautiful kick by Barnhart. Hughes has to make the fair catch. At the 16, a 43-yard punt, no return. The Saints by 9 against Carolina. The New Orleans Saints with a 9-point leader, now back in the position where they have always wanted to be since Jim Mora was here. A chance to pound the football.
Well, they've always wanted the chance to pound it, but they've never been very successful at pounding it. But this is a place where I think Mario Bates has got to come up big for him. He and Zellers have got to be the guys that gain some yards, give them an opportunity to control the clock a little bit more, and pick up a couple of first downs. It's important also, coming out of your own end, that Jim Everett doesn't have to throw the ball in the air.
Bates on first down. Nice cut to find some running room across the 20 to about the 21. Greg Cragen makes the stop.
Well, you got to give an awful lot of credit to Jeff Uleneg, Jim Dombrowski, and Andy McCullum at the center and the 2 guards. They have done a terrific job not only picking up Sam Mills in the interior rushes, but also run blocking and not allowing penetration for the guys to make plays.
The Saints, as Joe alluded to before, 29th in the NFL, mainly because they have fallen behind so often that they have not been able to establish any kind of a running game. Here's Bates up to the 24. They'll need about 3 more for the first down. Brett Maxey came flying up from strong safety to get in on it.
Michael, this is where the tight ends become so important, I think, in the passing game of the New Orleans Saints. What Coach Mora wants to do is 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 are very easy and supposedly makeable 3rd downs. That's what you shoot for, because you can design a lot of different little pick plays, a lot of hesitation plays, and the tight ends become a very big part of this. Or slot receivers. They're also another one to try to look for.
And Derek Brown, one of those receiver-type running backs, is in the backfield right now. He has not been very active tonight. Carolina going blitz, and they come. Everett unloads. He's got the completion to Torrance Small. First down.
Torrance Small was on the inside slot side on the right. All he does is work up across the field and run away from the man-to-man coverage.
Here comes the blitz, and Sam Mills is coming again, Joe.
And he's stopped again, Michael. Sammy coming up the middle. And the big guys pick him up. This time it's Uleneg. And you saw there's Torrance Small. He just runs away from Tyrone Poole. I mean, that's almost impossible to ask someone to do. Chase him all the way across the field.
9:07 and counting, 3rd quarter. Neal and Bates back in as the running backs. Bates out of Arizona State, up near the 39-yard line.
This is a chess match down right here, Mike. 2nd down and 7. Defensively, we can bring a max blitz against you, figuring you're going to run and make it 3rd and long. But on offense, if you anticipate it, say go play action, you can get one-on-one outside and maybe get a big play. This is one of those little chess match situations. See what they're gonna do.
Bates fakes the end around. Sam Mills wasn't buying any of it. Makes the tackle out near the 41-yard line.
Had a lot of people around the line of scrimmage, a lot of people around the ball.
You're not going to fool Sam Mills very often. He has seen it all in his years. And a guy who would have probably gone to twice as many Pro Bowls had he not played in that 4 linebacker set of guys who just always went to Pro Bowl.
Well, you know, this is something about him, too. You know, he's 5'9", but you know what size shoe he wears? 14. How could you ever knock him off his feet? He's got these big bozo feet.
Connor jumps offside. Flags down, free play for Everett. And Torrance Small can't get there. Now, if Everett was right that it was offsides against Carolina, and that's the way it looked, he did have the free play.
Again, if the defensive man crosses into the neutral zone and causes the offensive man to move, it should be a penalty against the defense, and that's what it looked like.
Before the snap, there was a neutral zone infraction against the defense. Defender jumped in the neutral zone, causing a false start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
That's when you see the tackle move and point at the same time.
That's right. William Rolfe said, it wasn't me. What's number 56? There he is. He's across the neutral zone. Now, the neutral zone is the width of the football from nose to nose. That's what's considered the neutral zone. He crossed into it and caused William Rolfe to move.
So this now brings up 3rd and very short at the Saints' 46-yard line.
Now you just pound and get the first down. Keep the clock running, get the first down. Some of the biggest plays in a football game occur on 3rd and short because you have so many people so close to the line of scrimmage. If a back can pop through, very few people back there to make a play.
Bates and Zellers. In this situation last time, Zellers got the ball as the lead back. And will again. And has the first down again. Much stronger than you would think of a 221-pound back.
He runs, you know, he runs with a wonderful low center of gravity. And a lot like Lorenzo Neal, same kind of guy. Low center of gravity, hard to block. Hard to tackle.
Body lean, too.
Watch these two guys fire out. They're just going to clean it out. Remember, offense gets under the defense, they'll move them. That's exactly what happens. Dombrowski and Rolfe run them out of the way.
Zeller stays in as the single back. 7:09 to go, 3rd quarter. And Zellers will get the carry and goes to the Carolina 44-yard line and upset that he didn't get any more out of it. He missed 4 games with a sprained ankle, or his progress might be further along at this point. One thing coaches like Jim Mora are loath to do is put rookies in there if they don't understand the blitz pickups, because they don't want their quarterback being killed.
Same thing about a quarterback, too.
Yeah. They have a vested interest in it, don't they?
Exactly right.
Everett in the flat. And it's going to be a first down as Lorenzo Neal makes only his 7th catch of the season.
Can you sense a rhythm now?
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the whole thing about Jim Everett. Actually, every quarterback, they have to get in a rhythm. In the first game, Carolina did not allow Jim Everett to get into his rhythm. Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator for the Saints, does a nice job with the play selection. First half, 14 rushes, 21 passes. Now they're coming out to run the ball a little bit more, picking their spots.
And they have worked 5 minutes off the clock here in the 3rd quarter with this drive. Bates back in with a stutter step. Nice tackle by Pat Terrell, the former Ram and Jets last year. This is the luxury of being ahead, and the Saints are up 9, and they're milking the clock and this drive for all they're worth.
What they're going to do is they're going to force Carolina to bring more people to the line of scrimmage to stop the run, which should open up an opportunity for a big play for Jim Everett and his wide receivers.
10th play of this drive coming. Draw to Bates. Behind rope. Mario Bates runs through a couple of arm tackles and has another first down. Bates said he came into this season with such high expectations. He wanted 1,000 yards, and he wanted to double his 6 touchdowns last year. The 1,000 yards is still a possibility.
And if you've got blocks like William Rolfe is delivering, it's a very big possibility. Here he blocks Darian Connors, throws him down inside. Now look it. Now he slides out and blocks Sam Mills. That's a twofer. He got a twofer. And then, of course, Carolina does a lousy job of tackling to allow Bates to pick up the extra yardage.
15 carries, 59 yards for Bates. He'll get a breather with Zealous.
Wonderful block by William Rolfe. Wonderful 2 blocks.
And the Rams, or excuse me, the Saints will take a timeout with 4:39 to go, third quarter. Back to New Orleans in a moment. Cool jazz and warm nights on Bourbon Street here in New Orleans. You see the street musicians, the dancers. It's a great place. Never been, you need to come. Zellers powers his way inside the 15-yard line.
2 different running styles from Ray Zellers and Mario Bates. Mario Bates runs a little more upright, gives you a little bit more to hit. Ray Zellers runs with a little bit more of a lean, gives you shoulders and knees to try and tackle. Does a nice job of cutting back, squares up. You see, there's nothing to hit. There's just shoulder pads and knees to tackle. Good job of covering up when he gets in traffic. Well-disciplined runner.
Just another shot at it. Nice little cut at the line of scrimmage to the 10 and inside the 10 to the 9. That will be a first down for the Saints.
The New Orleans Saints are allowing Carolina to take themselves out of the play. That's the second time we saw a cutback by Zellers. What they're doing is they're counting on the linebackers to flow, then they're sealing them off and giving Zellers a chance to sort of take it back, and he's really 4 or 5 yards upfield before anybody gets near him.
Look at this drive so far. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. 12 plays and 74 yards. Just what the doctor ordered, especially if you're up 20-11. And Brett Maxey is the player being held off the field for Carolina. And they've got that right, or the left hand wrapped, or right hand? Right hand. That doesn't look good. And now they're going to take Brett Maxey to the locker room where they have the X-ray facility. And Bubba McDowell, the ex-Oiler, checks in, and we'll get a report on Brett Maxey as soon as we can. Clock is stopped with 3:40 to go. The Saints now with a 1st and goal, and there is Bubba McDowell. Started the first 3 games then. Since then, they have played him only in the dime because he's not completely recovered from knee surgery. They don't want to make him an every down player yet and test that knee. But he may have to do it now with Maxey in the locker room. Mills trying to rally the troops. Zeller. He just sneaks through the smallest of holes.
And on every first down in this drive, they've run the football, and they've gotten almost 5 yards. So, I mean, you keep coming up 2nd down and 5, you can dictate to the defense what you want to do.
And who are the happiest people in this entire building? Carl Smith and Jim Mora. And Pat Terrell, the other safety, is down. This could be a very costly game for Carolina.
And Sam Mills is limping around a little bit as well.
Terrell had 4 years with the Rams, 1 for the Jets. And Joe, as you mentioned earlier, Tyrone Poole was the only starter on defense with less than 6 years experience. This was a masterful job putting this defensive team together. We've got a timeout on the field. Back in a moment. Pat Terrell injured on the sideline. Brett Maxey's already gone to the locker room, and Sam Mills apparently with a cramp.
All the Saints are doing is running it right at the Carolina Panthers. 11 rushes, 52 yards on this drive. 14 rushes, 47 yards the entire first half.
Mario Bates back in the tailback. Bates to the 5, to the corner, touchdown. Sam Mills could do nothing but watch helplessly from the sideline.
As well as Dom Capers. The left side of the line has just done a terrific job, especially Jim Dombrowski tonight. Watch number 72 come around and seal. He just hangs on to Gerald Williams. Yeah, he's holding on a little bit, but not too long. That's just the way the game's played. And Mario Bates just does a nice job of staying with his team. Irv Smith out front, number 82. Runs Andre Royal out into the cheap seats.
Doug Bryan for the point after. He's got it. 27-11 New Orleans. Mario Bates with his second rushing touchdown of the night, a 14-play drive that took more than 8 minutes off the clock. The Saints now lead the Panthers 27-11. Let's call it expansion growing pains. The teams that have taken the longest to win 6 games in a season. The Dallas Cowboys were born in 1960, but it wasn't until their 6th season they were able to win 6. The New Orleans Saints came out kicking and screaming in 67. Their fans had to bear the pain for 12 years before they could win 6. But the newborn Carolina Panthers are mature beyond their years. One more win would make them the quickest expansion team ever to win 6 games. But right now, it doesn't look like Don Capers is going to get it tonight. His team down by 16. By Note at the 2. Trips over the 20-yard line and goes down at the 22.
J.J. McCluskey, dynamo on special teams, making the tackle. Number 44. 5'7", 177 pounds. When I was on the field before, he says, I'm going to be a madman tonight. Just lowers his head, takes on one blocker, takes on another, and then makes the play. All he did was study Steve Tasker. And I said, what'd you learn by studying Tasker? He says he never quits.
One thing you learn, if you're 5'7", 177, you better not quit. Short pass over the middle is incomplete, intended for Matthew Campbell. But he was wrapped up by Rufus Porter.
The situation in this game, Mike, now presents another set of problems for the offense of the Carolina Panthers, and in particular, Joe Pendry, the coordinator. What do you do with Kerry Collins? You know the 3- and 5-step steps aren't going to work anymore, the drops, so you got to put the ball down the field. How do you protect him? I think that's his biggest question.
He is only 8 out of 26 tonight and has missed his last 6. They'll go to the ground with Johnson, and Johnson dives up near the 28-yard line. Brian Jones made the tackle. He's filling in for Winford Tubbs tonight. Our Visa storyline from the Superdome in New Orleans. Kerry Collins, not impressed numbers tonight, especially the 2 picks. Jim Everett only 133 yards, but he only made the 1 mistake. The rushing yards, New Orleans now up to 108. They dominated the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 4. Collins with good protection, but good coverage by Hughes. He was right with Eric Gulliford.
You know, the offense of the Carolina Panthers is not complete yet with proper parts to make everything work. What I mean by that, they don't have a 3rd down back that can come out and pick up 3rd down and 4 for you. They have to count on one of the receivers to do it. And the Saints can double cover any number of them, which force Kerry Collins to hold the ball and make off-balance throws like he did.
Plus, the rookie is still learning as he goes. Tyrone Hughes, inside the 25. Has a seam. Just tripped up and goes down at the 49. 1 step away from a touchdown. Paul Butcher, the backup linebacker, just got a piece of it. Still a 24-yard return, and one of the Panthers is down. The best pregame show in the NFL expands to 90 minutes beginning next Sunday at 11:30 a.m. sharp with Chris Berman and the gang on NFL Game Day. Then at 7, it's all the highlights of all the games on prime time. And at 8 Eastern, Sunday night NFL Classic, the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. And haven't the Buffalo Bills been one of the most amazing stories of this year? And the injured player is Butcher, the man who saved the touchdown.
Just gets him on the knee and trips him up. Boy, he was hauling it, too. I mean, there was a straight line between he and the end zone, and he was on it.
The ball spotted at the Saints 49 with a minute 41 to go, third quarter.
I think a big part of Dom Capers' lecture to his defense was don't let him run it down your throat again.
Bet they'll try. Zellers is in there. Behind Neal, he fumbled the football. That's the second time they have fumbled a handoff tonight. And the Panthers have it. Big break for Carolina.
That one was Zeller. The one in the first quarter was Mario Bates. I always believe that it's a quarterback's fault. And in this case, what happens is Zeller starts to move. Because he's a rookie, he's following his blocking, and Jim Everett expects him to be someplace else. He causes Everett to try and reach and get the ball to him. That's what caused the fumble. I'd have to say that one was caused by the back running away from the quarterback, not Jim Everett's fault.
The quarterback can only get out so far. That's right. He's not going to outrun that running back. Collins goes to the air against the blitz. Throws sideline, incomplete. Again, good coverage by Spencer as Carrier was there, but there's a flag down on the play, and it's a hold against the Panthers.
Holding on the offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
But the first mistake Brockermeyer has made since the beginning of the year. 10 straight games, no sacks.
And he's up against a guy who's got a lot of quicks in Ronaldo term. Now he comes outside. Brockermeyer felt like he could handle the speed rush, but in that case, he just couldn't. This is when it gets tough for offensive linemen. When the score is down, you're down, and you know that the offense has to throw the ball.
Short set by Collins. Pumps goes over the middle. Carrier to the 30 to the 29. Well, they had that play set up all night long with the pump fake on the short post of the slant.
Well, what they did that time, Mike, is they pumped it to the outside receiver, allowing the slot guy to come inside. Plus, that's where you get the mismatch. You don't get the corner or the safety on you. You get a linebacker. Now, there's Richard Harvey. He's on Carrier. He just gets into the soft spot of the zone and turns it upfield.
Nice throw by Collins. First down, Carolina. Back to throw again. Barrier down to the Saints' 3-yard line. Between Hughes and Buck, a gain of 25.
All they're doing is spreading out that Saints defense and working inside the numbers. Now they're going down the field a little bit more. It's an adjustment they had to make. Number 83, right in the soft spot of the zone, right in the belly of the zone. He knows exactly where he wants to go. He saw it right from the snap. Now, the Saints just have not been able to stop Carolina, whether it be on a touchdown try or a two-point try down here.
Play action by Collins. Bullet pass, touchdown. Carrier hit him 3 straight times.
He believes that every time he gets inside the 5, he's going to get it. And the Saints have given Kerry Collins and the Carolina Panthers no reason to believe they can stop him.
It all goes back to the missed handoff and the fumble. Zellers could not get the handoff from Jim Everett. The turnover gives Carolina a chance, and they convert on it.
Yeah, you know, it's 27-17 right now. I'm just thinking, if you kick the extra point, you go to 18. If you make 2, you go to 19. I don't think it makes that much difference.
Collins throws, got it to Christian, 2 points.
Well, you know, the other part of it is the Saints can't stop it, so may as well get as many points as you want.
Why go for 1 if they give you 2? So Collins has brought the Panthers back into this game. And a nice drive for the rookie.
And it's set up by the fumble by Zellers on a missed handoff between Everett and Zellers. Never gets the ball. Ray's just kicking it around a little bit, winds up out in front. Recovered by the Panthers. Little play action fake just to hesitate, cause the linebackers to hesitate. You work one-on-one. And why not keep on going to Kerry? He's as hot as there is in this drive. Collins does a nice job of looking off at the snap. Now you work it outside to the running back.
Well, you know the Saints were thinking at the beginning of that possession, the last time we had it, we had a drive that went 8 minutes and 8 seconds, just ate up the third quarter clock. Let's go tear another 8 minutes off of there, and we're out of here. Instead, they fumble on first down.
I'll tell you, they've hurt themselves. That's all. I mean, the Saints have basically stopped themselves all night. Everett's interception was a gimme throw for a pickoff. It was late. The fumbles have given Carolina life. A lot of credit to the Carolina Panthers. They could have folded their tent and said, oh, we're still learning, we're young. It's not going to happen under a Dom Capers football team.
And now they're back to within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Hughes waits at the 5. Kick it the other way, and Derek Ned from the 15. Nice kick away from Hughes, too. Got it up to the 27-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter. We have a ball game from New Orleans. The Saints over the Panthers by
8. True Value presents the NFL Man of the Year Award.
As he was in Buffalo, Pete Metzelaars has become a huge presence in the Carolina community. Throughout his career, he's made it a priority to personally lift the spirits of hospitalized children, and has also been a longtime champion in the fight against cystic fibrosis and cancer. Pete Metzelaars has done a wonderful job for the Carolina Panthers, and our hat off to Pete Metzelaars and the rest of his NFL brethren who have done so much to help people who have found it very difficult to help themselves. Saints take over at the 26, and Everett wants to throw on first down. Sidearms it out there. Complete to Quinn Early, looking for a block. 40, midfield, and out of bounds. Quinn Early has gone over the 300 catch mark for his career tonight. That was a gain of 24.
Knew exactly where he wanted to go when he got his hands on the football. He is not going to hesitate. Pushes McKyer off, turns inside. Now watch him go. I got it, and I'm gone. No question, no hesitation, never even looked at McKyer. Just started out and got around the defense.
He is a smart football player. Maxey is back in for Carolina. Brown is in for the Saints. Irv Smith makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by Lamar Latham. Let's go to Mark Malone.
Thanks, Mike. Our spotlight now on Willie Roaf, the tackle for the New Orleans Saints, and what a great athlete he is. As Jim Everett's throwing the ball, take a look at this footwork and technique. Bang, he pushes Latham inside, comes back outside, and stuffs the defensive end. That's a sack, but it's not his fault. Here's why he can do it. Look at his feet at 300 pounds. He never crosses him as a tackle. It's almost picture perfect. And I'll tell you, Dennis Rodman in the NBA, the defensive player, couldn't do it better. Mike?
I don't think even Dennis Rodman would go against William Roaf.
No, their hair is not the right color.
Bates. Mario Bates, a flag down in the area where it's normally holding, so look for this to come back. Well, Bates has run well tonight.
When a guy breaks that clean off the corner, that means that somebody's been tied up just a little bit.
Holding on the offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
The tight end, Irv Smith. Back to Mark Malone.
Thanks, Mike. So far, here's William Roaf's numbers. He is not allowed a sack. 3 pressures in the first half. That's hard to believe. Perhaps Jim Everett holding on to the football a little bit. 1 penalty. He said he wasn't playing as well as he did last year. He went to the Pro Bowl. But when you look at video that we just showed you, that's pretty hard to believe. Mike?
Mark, there's a guy who could be around at that left tackle spot for another 12, 13 years. And when you've got that anchor to build around, you've really got a prize. Nice kid, too. We're in the fourth quarter, 13-34 and counting. An 8-point New Orleans lead, faces second and 21 after the holding call. Brown with a rare carry, and he is buried. Sean King, the rookie from Northeast Louisiana, came free and just trampled him.
Talk about teams getting predictable. How's this for the Saints? On 3rd down and long, they need 3 yards or more, 120 passes and 8 runs. This is tough. William Roaf just has nobody. I mean, he's got 2 people to block, and he can't make a play. The Saints have become so predictable on 3rd down. So far, all 3rd and over 3s tonight have been passes. I don't think this one's going to be any different.
No, I think the pattern may continue here. 3rd and 25. This was the last thing New Orleans wanted. 3 and out. Everett over the middle. Whoa! First down! Here is a guy throughout his career who has had problems with bad shoulders. He is finally healthy and is having a career year in catches and yards. And when you've got a tight end that can get 25 yards downfield and catch that way, oh boy.
Makes your job a lot easier. This is from our goalpost cam. Watch this. The safety goes back. The catch is going to come in the middle. That's 25 yards downfield. They get no pressure on Jim Everett, and he hangs it. What a terrific job. He goes over Darian Connor and hangs on to the ball. Now, you got to explain to me on 3rd and 25 why you would allow him to get that off. I mean, put pressure on him.
Zellers will get maybe 1 to the Carolina 34. What a huge play that was.
They dropped 8 and only put 3 on him. Jim Everett has a history of throwing bad balls when he's got people in his face and he has to get rid of it in a hurry. What you did is you allowed Jim Everett to do what he does well. Sit in a pocket and make a throw. I think the defensive strategy there could have been throw the kitchen sink at him. Let him throw the break off for a 5-yard gain.
The time of possession totally turned around. The Saints 24-30 since they were dominated early. Here comes the blitz. Everett unloads. Walls. Nice move to get away. Wesley Walls with 2 huge plays here in the fourth quarter. Mills and Terrell combined on the tackle. Wesley Walls, 7-year man out of Mississippi. Now this guy's 250.
That's right, but he's an agile 250. Slides right outside. The blitz comes off the outside from Carlton Bailey. Jim Everett reads it, just lays ball out. Brett Maxey can't make the tackle. Mills finally gets him 10 yards downfield.
Wesley Walls is putting up Pro Bowl numbers this year. Zellers dives down to about the 23, a little bit inside it. Mark Thomas covers him. Thomas has been playing with a fractured thumb. This is the kind of play the New Orleans Saints were looking for when they came into the season. They had very high expectations, and they're working on Mario Bates. Right now, he looks more disgusted than hurt.
Always looks concerned.
He does. Zellers on 2nd and 9 breaks a couple of tackles down to the 18-yard line. Terrell and Cragen and Thomas in on the stop. Jim Everett has certainly been streaky tonight in the passing department. He hit 6 straight, missed 5 in a row. Now he's hit his last 6. Looks like a Dave Craig step.
We get to see Dave on Thursday night when the Giants visit the Arizona Cardinals out there.
Although when Dave Craig gets hot, he doesn't stop at 6. He goes to about 15.
Had one of those days today.
3rd and 4. Everett from the shotgun. Blitz coming. Walls out of the end zone. Walls did his job, made the catch, tried to get the toes down, and then he comes after Tim McKyer. Tim McKyer may be a tough guy, but I'd pick another target.
I would too. You know, it's a characteristic of Dom Capers defenses. He did it in Pittsburgh with Rod Woodson so well. Now he does it with Tyrone Poole. Coming off the corner. He's up on the slot man. He comes unblocked and causes Everett to hang the ball up a little bit further than he wanted to. Now Walls tries to stay inbounds. Now keep in mind, if he had been in the plane inbounds and been knocked out, it would have been a touchdown. But the fact that he caught it going away makes him incomplete.
Bryant is hit from 39 and 45. This is from 36, and it's no good. Carolina still within a touchdown and a two-point conversion. Carolina takes over at the 21-yard line, down by 8. The last time they had the ball, a nice drive, mostly throwing it to score. Collins on the draw. Johnson. Flag is down, so Johnson is the 30. Again, back in the area where it's normally a hold. And Carolina will have to start in a 1st and 20 hole.
And the New Orleans Saints have employed a new style of defense. They've gone to the 4-down lineman, but also they use an over and under. That's Monty Kiffin, longtime coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Brings that philosophy here. They use the under tackle. You remember Keith Millard and John Randall, how dominant they were. That's the position that Wayne Martin is playing. Ronaldo Turnbull, they think, can be like a Chris Dolman, come from the outside. He's using them a little different up front than he has. They're not quite as aggressive as they've been in Minnesota.
And that's because of the injuries to the linebackers. They haven't been able to pick up the whole system. Collins short set. That's why you don't throw to Eric Allen's side. He gets more of them than the other guy does.
You know, it's got to be hard for Eric Allen because they just don't go. But you see, he just watches Kerry Collins all the way. I mean, he's looking at Collins. Collins is looking at him. That's what's known as staring down the receiver. If anybody had any question what the definition of it was, you just saw it.
And Eric Allen is as good a cover corner as there is. Comes the blitz. Collins hit as he throws. Loose ball. No signal yet, and Collins picked it up.
That should be an incomplete pass.
Looked like it.
That should be an incompleted pass.
It was incomplete. It was a forward pass.
Good call.
The pass was incomplete.
He'll bring his motion all the way through and release the ball. They get the blitz from up top. Off the corner, he gets in. Watch his throwing motion. He brings it down. See how as long as your arm is coming forward and you let the ball go, it's an incomplete pass.
That was Tyrone Hughes off the corner.
See, now I'd blitz him again here. Don't lay back in a 7 or 8 man zone and allow him to complete a 20-yard pass.
Go with 4 wide receivers. Collins with time. Rifles it. Picked off Jimmy Spencer. Spencer with the interception. Green will bring him down. Not a good throw by Kerry Collins. The 2nd interception of the year for Jimmy Spencer.
Remember, you got to go back to the last drive when he hit Mark Carrier twice down the middle in the belly of the zone. Okay? Young quarterback. He finds a rhythm. He finds a formation he likes. They throw it again. This time the Saints react.
Another turnover for the Panthers. 8:21 left. Saints lead the Panthers 27-19 with 8:21 to go in the game. Both these coaches knew the difference in the first game was turnovers. They know the difference in this game has been turnovers. Jimmy Spencer with his 2nd interception of the night. There's the difference. In the first meeting in week 8, 5 turnovers by the Saints. Tonight, they barely have a 5-4 lead in that department. It was Ray Zellers racking up some more yardage on the ground. The Saints have not been boring in their last 7 drives. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, a missed field goal, a fumble, and an interception. Carl Smith would like another one of those 8-minute drives. Touchdown. Let's go home.
I think they'd settle for a 6-minute drive just to put a few more points on the board.
2nd and 2. Clock running, 7:46 left. The up man is Lorenzo Neal, and he'll have a first down for New Orleans. Now this is where a gambling style defense might pay off, trying to strip the ball, create a turnover, but they get most of what they get out of pressure on the quarterback.
Right. Carolina really doesn't play a gambling style of defense. They create the illusion sometimes that they're rushing more people than they are to try and make quarterbacks get rid of the football. Then they play zones behind it. Here, they're going to have to create more than illusion. They're going to have to bring more than 5 people.
Zellers is the deep man. He'll get the carry. Tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
See, now you can dictate a little bit to that Saint offense. They're out of field goal range, really. You're talking about a 52-yard field goal try if you want to use it. And Vic Fangio, I think, has to come again. I think he's got to bring the multiple backers again. That means rushing more than just 5 people.
Sam Mills back in.
Of course, Vic Fangio, former Saint here, great teacher. Everybody on that Carolina staff is a great teacher.
Everett rolling away from pressure. Throws on the run and incomplete. Could have been caught by Quinn early at the 25. Looked like it bounced off his body.
Yeah, but you see, Jim Everett just doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't get his hips turned to make a touch throw. He's really a fish out of water when he leaves the pocket. See him scrambling? Watch his hips and shoulders. He's running now. He's running. See, his hips are going to the right. His shoulders are going to the right, and he's trying to throw the ball upfield, and it's a little wobbly and a little ugly coming out, and it's a tough catch for Quinn.
And here it would be a 52-yard field goal try. Another blitz. Everett throws and incomplete. Crowd wants a flag. Now they get it. The official who was right in front of it didn't call it, but another official came in and threw the marker. And it looked like contact was before the ball got there.
Pass interference against the defense, number 21. Spot foul and automatic first down.
It's on Rod Smith, who's made a couple of real good plays tonight.
Rod does come over the back. Left part of your screen, you see Quinn early. The ball is not really thrown with a lot of velocity. I mean, even though he didn't have the right hand on him, watch his body touch him. His body's going to nudge him. There's the body before the ball gets there. It's a good call by the official. Officials have done an excellent job tonight on some very close calls.
And a new set of downs for New Orleans to work that clock again. It's down to 6:12. The Panthers have all 3 timeouts left.
Now they can run the football.
Bates is back in as the tailback. Mario cuts it outside. He's tough to bring down.
He really has a unique running style. He doesn't really lean forward. He runs with the upper part of his body fairly straight up, but he's got wonderful quickness and great balance when he makes his cuts.
You're tuning in for SportsCenter. Have another one of those leftover turkey sandwiches. It's coming up. We still have 6:04 to go in this one. Bates, 19 carries, 71 yards, and a couple of touchdowns tonight. As New Orleans trying to win its 5th of the year. Carolina trying to get to 6-6. Bates on the delay. Nice cut. There's a flag down. Bates to the 2, and this one will probably come back. When the flag is thrown that quickly in the middle of the field, it is invariably a hold.
Holding on the offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That's Richard Cooper, who just came back off of a shoulder injury.
I'll show you a collision first. Lorenzo Neal, number 22, 51, Sam Mills. There they go. Sam's running. Lorenzo's coming. There it is right there. That is a major collision. They come off the corner. Coop just holds number 71, but look at the collision in the hole. And that's all a fullback has to do. He's just got to stalemate that linebacker, give the back a chance to make a cut.
Clock still running under 5:30. Second and 18. Movement up front. They'll whistle this one dead.
That's the left side of the line. Rolf and Dombrowski got both of them in tandem.
Before the snap, there was a false start on the offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
They'll flag Dombrowski. Please come out of retirement and save our Saints. What about it? What about it?
I don't think so. I like it up here with you, Michael. I don't think I can say it.
Can't agree with that one.
I don't either. Actually, I don't agree with either of them. I'd agree
with the first one more than I would the last one.
That's a sorry one. Wait till next year again.
Well, it's not over yet, folks. Derek Brown on the delay. Room to run. Derek Brown. Touchdown. A draw play, 35 yards. Derek Brown, his first rushing touchdown of the year. Nice call.
Oh, William Rolf, unbelievable. Watch number 77 on Darian Connor. He just buries him down inside and allows Derek Brown to get outside, and then he just turns it on. New Orleans Saints are going to go for 2 after this touchdown. Good job of running in the end zone as well. Not going to be denied. Changed their mind. Now they're going to go for 1.
That is the first 20-plus yard run that the Panthers defense has given up this season. And if the Saints had gone for 2, I'd have been stunned. They're already up by 14. This would make it 15. And it does. 15-point lead, 4:54 to go. Saints by 15 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the game. They lead the expansion Carolina Panthers, who were trying to win an expansion record 6th game in their first season. Doesn't look good. Note and Stone are deep for Bryant's kick. And a good one by Note, the 3. Excellent special teams coverage from the New Orleans Saints tonight. 4:44 to go in the game. The Saints by 2 touchdowns. (34-19) Saints. William Rofe giving you that accountant look. A very big accountant, I'll grant you, but an accountant nonetheless. Let's go to Mark Malone.
Thanks, Mike. When New Orleans decided to run the football, it's been a thing of beauty to watch, especially behind William Rofe. Take a look at these 3 plays. How about this for 14 yards? Collapses. Connor goes outside and gets a second block against Mills. Watch him recover against the blitz and then crumple up Bubba McCall. And then on the touchdown, as you saw again, he folds Connor inside and away they go. I'll tell you what, this kid is not only athletic with his feet, but he's one of the strongest tackles I've ever seen at 300 pounds. Mike?
Mark, 2 years in a row, he has put on a show for us. Draw play, Johnson. After about the 28, back to Mark.
Mike, coming into this game, New Orleans had about a 3-to-1 rush ratio behind that man, William Rofe, and that's been the case tonight. They've gone behind him 19 times, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 opponent tackles, 3 pancakes. Mike?
All right, Mark. Collins to the air, and Carrier tries to make the circus catch at the 43. Since the first quarter, the Carolina Panthers have had the ball for only 9 minutes and 23 seconds. That's amazing.
New Orleans has had it for 30-53. I computed that in my head.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Keep on talking. Dom Capers has got to be extremely disappointed with the overall performance of his ball club. And, you know, his defense has just gotten tired. They've been on the field the entire second half.
Bob Christian, the single setback. There's movement up front. Brockermeyer slapping himself in the helmet. He may have been the one who moved early.
False start on the offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Last 5-6 weeks when they have played so well, these are the kind of mistakes they haven't made. And Dom Capers will go back over the tapes of this one. And here are the mistakes that really cost them. The 5 turnovers, 24 points off of the turnover. 24-30. 3rd and 6. Collins throws for the first down and has it out at the 31-yard line. Jimmy Spencer, who has had a very active evening, makes the tackle on Don Beebe. There's Craig Bragan, the longtime nose tackle.
You know, as Carolina moves along offensively, I think you're going to see the Saints defense get better and better as the year goes on, as well as they become more comfortable with what Monty Kiffin wants to do.
It's tough learning a new scheme. This one's incomplete, intended for Gulliford. He was covered well by Tyrone Leggett. You know, it's not like any one scheme.
No.
They're complicated to begin with. Then when you change schemes, I mean, you're asking these guys to learn a lot of different things.
And they also have to change subtle techniques. Like Ronaldo Turnbull is going to play with his hand down. When you ask guys to play with their hand down, Wayne Martin now, instead of playing the end position, has to concern himself with going up against guards and centers. So all those things take time to learn. Perfect your own technique.
Collins, the underneath route to Christian. Christian struggling for yardage. He's brought down at the 38. Tyrone Hughes, the first man in on the tackle. Christian picked up in the expansion draft from the Bears. Clock running, approaching 3.5 minutes. Collins dumps it to Christian again. He has the first down and more. Christian running hard down to the Saints' 42-yard line, and now we've got a fight.
As big as Kerry Collins is, Mike, I'm sort of looking ahead to next year for the Panthers as well. He might be an interesting guy to put in the shotgun. He's a big guy. Let him get a little more comfortable, see a little bit more of the field, not be concerned to have to stand there and be so tough around people.
Gulliford, and a beautiful throw by Collins that time down to the Saints' 6-yard line. Carolina just won't go away. It's a gain of 36. First and goal, 4 wide receiver set. Collins, and a fan nearly got that one. Don Beebe was the only one within 15 yards of him.
Kerry Collins doing a nice job of going back in the pocket. He's still looking towards the receivers a little bit. That time he looked the defense off and allowed Gully to get in the middle and pick up the yards. I personally think they ought to go back to their normal personnel here. They've been very successful with tight ends and running backs instead of the 4 wides down around the goal line.
Second and goal.
15 for 40.
Collins looks left, had it knocked away at the last moment. Pig Goff was right there, along with Dixon.
Collins tries to load and come out. As he comes back, just gets his arm hit. I think one thing, you know, everybody talks about that left tackle, and they've got a good one in Blake Brockemeyer, but the area they're going to have to build is that right tackle position. If you're going to have a quarterback want to stand in the pocket the way Kerry Collins does, you need bookend tackles. You just don't need a strong left one.
And the pressure has come from that side tonight. Third and goal. Collins with time, floats it into the end zone, picked off. Eric Allen. The number 4 active interceptor in the NFL just got number 36 career. We've said all night, you throw it over there, he'll catch as many as your receiver will. And with 6 turnovers, you're not going to win football games.
Now, you made them at crucial times also. Eric Allen is just watching all the way. Just got an eye on everybody. He sees what's going on. He sees the corner coming back. you really have no place to run anybody off down around the goal line. I mean, if you want to run a corner, you've got to make sure they're in man-to-man coverage, and you've got to get it up a lot quicker than that.
He left Green and went to Gulliford and got the pick. So now the Saints have it salted away. Sellers back to the ground. New Orleans with 4 interceptions tonight in their first 11 games. The Saints only had 8. So 50% tonight of their previous season's total. Prime Monday tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern. Mike Tirico and company preview the battle between the Raiders and the Chargers. We'll have all the latest news from around the league and go backstage with Charger linebacker Junior Seau. All that and much, much more tomorrow night on Prime Monday. Sports Center immediately following our broadcast. And we're down to the last 2:17 from New Orleans, where the Saints trying to go to 5 and 7 and at least remain mathematically alive. And as you said, Joe, this will be a learning experience for Kerry Collins, and nobody comes into this league and doesn't find some bumps along the road.
There's your comparison between week 8 and tonight. Kerry Collins asked to try and do a lot more. The 4 turnovers, all but 1 interception. I really think he made bad decisions and throws there.
Sellers, some room to run up the middle, very close to a first down, and now he has it with excellent second effort. Lathan makes the tackle. And that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning in New Orleans with the Saints in control. Saints in control, 34-19. Coming up next, Sports Center. Dan Patrick and Keith, do we have video of that Olbermann? They'll get you caught up on the day in sports, the top stories. The return of Steve Young and Dan Marino's record-setting performance, along with our John Madden conversation. That's followed by Primetime with Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, and Bill Pito with a complete wrap-up of today's action in the National Football League.
Kerry Collins has had an educational evening. Not the kind that he wanted, but an educational evening.
First and 10, Ray Zillers gets the carry.
Kerry Collins has had a difficult time in the 4th quarter. I think that's when teams really figure out where he's looking and what he's doing. 2 of the interceptions have come this evening and only 2 touchdowns. But the 46.5 completion percentage is not what it should be.
Of course, this is what the Panthers would expect when you put the rookie quarterback in a situation where he has to carry the load. And that's what they have tried to avoid all year, is let the defense set the tone and have the offense not lose the game.
Yeah, but I think certain throws he made, Mike, I mean, he's trying to make a play.
Oh, no doubt.
He's trying to force something to make it happen. He's certainly going to get better. Dom Capers, I think, has a real gem at the quarterback position. He's got all the intangibles. Tonight will be, like I said, an educational experience. He'll go out and play better next week because of what happened tonight.
There's Frank Reich, who started the first 3 games, had to endure 9 sacks in the season opener. I mean, that's almost inhuman.
Well, the other thing was, too, he had to learn an entirely new system as well.
Sellers trying to sweep to the outside, taking down at the 39. Sam Mills in on the tackle. 6 takeaways tonight, the second most ever by the New Orleans Saints defense. 7 was the record against Dallas. It's an NFL special. Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern as the New York Giants take on the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC East battle. But the evening begins a half hour earlier with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson on the NFL Tonight. Panthers have just used their last time out with 1:44 to go. And the Saints facing a 3rd and 4. Joe, this has got to give, I mean, it's a down evening for Sam Mills coming back here, but Jim Moore has got to be really uplifted by this, what his team was able to accomplish tonight.
Well, I think so, Mike, but again, you're the New Orleans Saints. You've been around. You have higher expectations. You've turned the ball over 4 times tonight. I think that's the one thing that's going to keep this team's feet on the ground. Yeah, they played well, they played solidly, but at times they tried to give this thing away at different instances, and I think that's going to be a concern for Coach Moore.
We pointed out last night to Jim Everett that the 66 Oilers were the only team ever to be swept by an expansion team in its first season, and he said, don't worry, that's not going to happen. And he was right.
Jim Everett has thrown 11 interceptions this year. 5 of them have been against the Carolina Panthers, as we mentioned.
Flag down on this play.
You know, you don't take this penalty. You decline this penalty because you want the ball back. If you take the penalty, you give them another chance to run the clock out.
Holding on the offense, number 82. It's a 5-yard penalty that is declined, brings up 4th down.
Revenge. They have come back after losses and beaten San Francisco, St. Louis, and now Carolina. And that's what Jim Mora said. You know, we lost to all 4 division rivals. We've gone after them one at a time. Now it's 3 down and 1 to go. Wilmsmeyer to kick it away. And Gulliford. Oh, what a job of punting tonight by Wilmsmeyer. Kicked the daylights out. And this was his best one yet. Down inside the 5. 53 yards covered by J.J. McCleskey. Wilmsmeyer in the net average came in number 2 in the NFC tonight, and he's really helped his cause with that.
I'm sure there are people wondering from a Carolina standpoint, say, well, why don't you put Frank Reich in the game? I mean, Kerry Collins has played. Why don't you give Frank a chance? Because Kerry Collins needs to play as much as he possibly can. He needs to complete passes. He needs to look at defenses from start to finish. That's why they wouldn't put Frank Reich in.
Collins only has 1:28 left and has to start at his own 5. Carolina out of timeouts. Collins again, the short set, threw this one low. Intended for Mark Carrier. Frank Reich, of course, a long-time Buffalo Bills backup, and had played extremely well given any opportunity up there when Jim Kelly was hurt.
You would have thought that Frank Reich would have had an advantage coming in against Kerry Collins. The problem is he had to learn an entirely new system as well as new players, so that he really didn't have a distinct advantage.
Collins throws underneath to Christian. Christian has run very hard tonight when he's had the opportunity on that short passing game up to the 22. Lumpkin with the tackle.
That would be the only pass I would throw until the Saints decide they want to come up and take it away. Because if he tries to squeeze one in, he's going to get another one picked off.
Over the middle, diving try. Gulliford nearly made a brilliant catch. He has come very close tonight on a couple. Sam Mills said it would be tough coming in here tonight. Tougher yet when you have to leave on the losing side. But this kid, every time we have seen him play, has just dominated whoever has been across from him. And Jimmy Spencer picked on all night, picked on all year. Came through with 2 interceptions. Eric Allen had 1. Nearly had another. Draw play, Christian. Takes a shot, keeps going. Slips another tackle out to the 39. Bob Christian really making an impression tonight. There's Maxey, who got a 6th interception on his season this evening. He said he understood it was a business decision with his bad knee and everything to let him go to Carolina. Collins over the middle, completes it to Carrier. 30, 20, 10, Carrier touchdown.
No quitting this ball club. They're just going to keep on coming at you now. They'll go for 2.
60 yards for Carrier. And Jim Mora has to be thinking, wait a minute, how did that happen?
Yeah, you just can't do that. I mean, you have to finish people. I think that's one of the things that teams like the Cowboys do and the 49ers do. When they've got you down, they'll bury you. You're not going to throw a 60-yard completion against them with less than 30 seconds to go.
No, those guys show no mercy at all.
Casey.
34-25. They'll go for the point after to make it 35-26. Down by 8, so they're an onside kick, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion from overtime. Stranger things have happened.
Look at that void right there. You're looking at what Kerry Collins is looking at. He sees the big hole in the middle, and he just throws the ball into it. Excellent job of anticipating where the receiver's going to be, and a terrific job by Willie Green getting out in front of Mark Carrier. Take another look-see. Good delivery. Just does sneak it in. Gets it by the linebacker, and off he goes. Nice job by Willie Green out front.
Kerry Collins' new career highs tonight: 46 attempts, 333 yards, 3 touchdowns. Joe Marciano now has his hands team out there. Remember, the hands team, it's a chance to get a football and about 3 guys right in the teeth.
Well, the thing is that people always say, well, what's a hands team? It's your guys that handle the ball all the time. You've got your wide receivers, you've got your tight ends, and you've also got a couple linebackers out there, and their job is to get in front of where the ball is going, block the kicking team coming down, and allow a receiver to make a catch.
And the kicker will be Klaus Wilmsmeyer, the punter, looking for that second bounce. And it's down at the 45. Excuse me, John Casey. Wesley Walls, who has shown the good hand so far tonight, comes up with it, and that should do it because Carolina has no timeouts left.
Just watch the right side. You'll see certain people move up to block. See the ball go up? You'll notice nobody's in front of them. What happened is a couple of those guys moved up to block and allow the people with the hands to catch it. Well, Dom Capers is going to go back and talk to his ball club about the things that they have to do, and that is they have to tackle better, and they have to get some kind of an offense to get their defense off the field so that they get a little rest.
The New Orleans Saints will go to 5-7. The Panthers will fall to 5-7 after 12 games of the regular season.
Kerry Collins got an education, and Jim Everett came back very well tonight.
Our final score: the Saints 34, the Panthers 26. Coming up next, Sports Center, the top stories: the return of Steve Young, Dan Marino breaks the touchdown record, and our conversation with John Madden. For Joe Theismann, Mark Malone, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night from New Orleans.